luck. The IHSA Board of Directors and member schools expect to promote good sportsmanship. Athletes, coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Do what's right. Thank you. In a moment, the players will turn around, face each other, and wish each other good luck as a sign of good sportsmanship. Good afternoon and welcome to Naperville Central High School. On behalf of the administrations and athletic departments of North Central College and Naperville Central High School, we welcome you to the championship game of the 2011 IHSA Girls Class 2A State Championship. Now let's meet the starting lineup. First for the visiting Lady Knights of Triad High School. Number 1, senior Cassidy Nudd. Number 2, senior Rachel Tejada. Number 3, junior Aaron Sullivan. Number 4, junior Haley Jonas. Number 5, senior Danielle Mertzke. Number 7, senior Brianna Schmidt. Number 9, sophomore Natalie Seipol. Number 11, junior Madeline Van Pelt. Number 16, junior Alyssa Patterson. Number 17, senior Holly Abel. And number 21, senior Heather Sager. The Lady Knights are coached by Mr. Mike Villa, assisted by Mr. Matt Badlock. Also by Mr. Jim Jackson, assistant coach. And now the starting lineup for the Marian Central, who enters today's game with an overall record of 19-9. Number 3, senior Tess Bodov. Sophomore number 6, Rebecca Tursky. Junior number 7, Susan Pigot. Number 9, sophomore Robin Wenzel. Junior number 10, Laura Lefevre. Number 13, senior and captain Susan Thomas. Number 14, senior Caitlin Logan. Number 15, junior Harmony Kenzora. Number 19, junior Megan Graff. Number 20, sophomore Megan Hart. And number 23, senior Katie Priesvis. The head coach, Christian Rockwell, assisted by Natalie Brenner, Justin Brown, Leslie Brenner, and Doug Shea. The officials for this championship game, in the middle, Mr. Gary Stevens, Mike Moore, Lori Salashe, and the fourth official, Richard Goldberg. There will not be a national anthem. Good luck, girls, and let's have a great game.
The 22-1 Triad Lady Knights versus the 19-9 Marian Hurricanes for the state title. Both teams vying for their first school state title in girls soccer. Now let's take a look at the starting lineups for both squads. We'll start with the visiting team, the Marian Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are wearing their cardinal red shirts, cardinal red shorts rather, and their red socks, and the home team is going to be the Marian Hurricanes, Triad, wearing their cardinal red top, shorts, and socks. And the Marian Hurricanes are going to be wearing their baby blue tops with the shorts and the blue socks. The starting lineup today for Triad in the red. Starting in net today will be Cassidy Nudd. The defensive pairing for the Lady Knights is Danielle Mersky, Brianna Schmidt, Holly Abel, and Caitlin Jonas. The midfielders today for the Lady Knights is going to be Alyssa Patterson, Madeline Van Pelt, and Natalie Sipley. And up front, the forwards for Triad today is going to be Rachel Tejada, who scored 2 goals yesterday, and the game winner in overtime, Heather Sager and Aaron Sullivan. Triad is coached by head coach Mike Villa with assistant coach Matt Betlak. The captains for Triad are Rachel Tejada, Brianna Schmidt, and Heather Sager. Now the starting lineup for the Marian Central Hurricanes. In net today will be Caitlin Logan, wearing number 14. The defensive pairings will be Tess Bodorf, Rebecca Tursky, and Robin Wenzel. As the Hurricanes come in for the first offensive surge, and that pass not quite on the money, and it's going to be turned away here by Triad. In the midfield for the Marian Hurricanes, it's going to be Megan Hart, Susan Thomas, Laura Lefevre, and Megan Graff. And up front, it's going to be Katie Privis, Susan Pigot, and Harmony Kenzora. Marian Central is coached by head coach Christian Rockall with assistant coach Natalie Brenner. The captains for the Hurricanes are Tess Bodorf, Laura Lefevre, and Susan Thomas. The officials here for today's championship match is Gary Stevens, Mike Moore, Lawrence Salash, and Richard Goldberg. And both teams just feeling each other out here in the early going. Less than 2 minutes into the first half, and here comes Triad trying to get something going offensively. And we're going to get a throw in on the top of the field there for the Hurricanes. Looking for Tursky for Marian. Marian trying to get it in now. Using that speed, they're going to try to break that defense for Triad. Triad just going to play their own game, and hopefully everything falls into place for them. Looking at the keys for the game for Marian Central, obviously the first goal, score more goals. And then the second key is the substitutions. Both teams are going to be substituting a lot, especially with the heat. And we have a breakaway here for Marian Central, streaking down the line. Susan Thomas able to send that pass, and a shot on goal. Not very hard hit on that one. It's going to be an easy save there for Cassidy Nudd for Triad. And now Triad trying to work it back inside the offensive zone. Triad with Rachel Tejada. Tejada with 38 goals on the season, added 2 more yesterday. And now that ball turned over, and back come the Hurricane in the offensive zone. Hurricane trying to get it up, a long lead pass that time. Looking for Katie Privis, and Privis can't get anything going. And that ball's just going to go harmlessly out of bounds, setting up a goal kick here for Cassidy Nudd. Triad coming into the game with a 22-1 record, while Marian Central comes in at 19-9. And that ball played in the midfield. Alyssa Patterson. Now here come the Lady Knights trying to get it back in the zone, but that's going to be headed back out toward midfield. It's going to be played off the foot of Susan Thomas. Thomas looking for an attacker up front, either Privis. Now here comes Privis down the left side trying to outrun Caitlin Jonas. Jonas beats that one to the punch, and it's going to go out of bounds. A throw in here for the Hurricanes right near the corner. And Laura Lefevre, the speedster for Marian Central, down there trying to make something happen, but that's going to go out of bounds, setting up a corner kick here, the first corner kick of the contest for the Hurricanes. Trying to get their second shot on goal, but trying to be the first one to get on the board.
We have our first corner kick of the day.
And it goes up, and not a lot of air underneath that one. That's just going to go out of bounds. Not exactly what the Hurricanes were looking for on that one. And it's going to set up a goal kick. And Lefevre, goal scorer from yesterday in a 3-0 win for the Hurricanes to advance them to today's state championship match. And that goal kick gets out to midfield, and the Hurricanes come back. And Megan Hart tried to center it, nobody home, a lot of red jerseys in front, and some contact toward midfield. Hitting the turf that time was Robin Wenzel, making contact with Natalie Sipley. Both players wearing number 9. It's going to set up a free kick here for the Lady Knights, and taking that free kick is Danielle Merksey. Merksey from her defensive spot coming up, and a nice kick there. She was intended for Alyssa Patterson, but that was quickly cut off that time by Susan Piggott. And that ball out of bounds right at the midfield line at the far end of the field. Lady Knights inbound that ball, trying to get it back towards center and trying to track that ball down. It got away from the Lady Knights a little bit, and tracking that one down was Brianna Schmidt. Schmidt with a strong game yesterday. And that 2-1 double overtime victory over Wheaton yesterday. Again, with Rachel Tejada scoring both goals in that game winner. A little over 90 minutes after the first. And that ball trying to chase it in, and it's just going to be easily scooped up by Cassidy Nudd. Streaking in that time was Laura Lefevre, trying to track that ball down, but just a little bit too far behind, and Nudd plays that ball back up to center. And it's going to be headed once or twice. And coming back up, Susan Thomas trying to find some open space. Just going to go back to her defense. And sends that one just a little bit too far forward, and it's going to go out of bounds in favor of the Hurricanes. And waiting for the touch-in. They get it into Rebecca Tursky. Tursky going back to center, trying to find somebody open. Tursky has Susan Thomas. Susan Thomas yesterday playing a lot like a point guard in basketball, facilitating and getting that ball to open attackers downfield.
Now we have a goal kick.
And another goal kick here for the Lady Knights. Only one shot on goal here in the early going. We're almost 8 minutes into the first half of this Class 2A championship match.
24.
And the goal kick sent not quite past midfield, but it gets passed off of the header. Now the Lady Knights trying to work it into the zone. Trying to come in here is Tejada. Tejada's going to be cut off there by the Hurricanes defense. And trying to get in that ball is almost going to go out of bounds. Tess Bodorf doing a nice job keeping it in and getting it back into Lady Knight territory. Privis was the nearest attacker there for the Hurricanes, but it just seals back into the clutches of Brianna Schmidt, and they play it back to center. Up on the far side, up there is Natalie Sipley. Sipley trying to find one of her attackers. She's got Alyssa Wild. And that's just going to easily go back to the goalkeeper for Marian Central. Caitlin Logan doing a nice job from her net minding position, and back up to center. And the Lady Knights play it back in the offensive zone. Tejada there along with Madeline Van Pelt. And then back come the Hurricanes, trying to track it down as Privis one more time, and she's got the defender right in front of her. Caitlin Jonas almost sends that one out of bounds, but it goes back toward the midfield, and trying to play it is Megan Hart. Megan Hart back over to center. Hart goes over to Tursky. Tursky just goes right back to her D. And Tess Bodorf sends it up, and the Hurricanes trying to create something on the offensive on the far side, and there's going to be a whistle blown. It's going to go in favor of the Lady Knights. And taking the free kick on the far side is Mertzke. And Mertzke puts that in play up toward midfield again. And the Lady Knights trying to get it in. Tejada, the closest attacker for Triad. but nothing happening there, and it's going to go back to the Hurricanes. Hurricanes coming up here, 4 attackers. One right in the middle. The pass was intended for Tursky, but Tursky just a little bit too far in front, and that ball is going to be picked off. Back up to midfield, played by the Lady Knights. Lady Knights trying to create something. Tejada all by her lonesome, but you can imagine there's going to be 2 sets of eyes on her most this game. The leading goal scorer here for Triad. As that kick shanks off the foot of Susan Pigot and goes out of bounds, and the Lady Knights will retain possession.
Returning to the game for Marian,
and more substitutions here.
Number 10, Laura Lefevre.
Lefevre coming back in, and much like the first game today, you can expect a lot of substitutions trying to combat this heat. Hurricanes dumping in, trying to make a play on the balls. Lefevre. Lefevre can't get anything going, can't get by the defender. That looks like it was Bridget Smith. And that ball's just going to harmlessly roll out of bounds. Hurricanes take back possession. They're going to inbound it on the far side in their own territory, and that's going to get back up to Robin Wenzel. Wenzel plays it up, looking for Tursky. Tursky can't do anything with it. 3 defenders right in front, but a little contact from behind. There's going to be a whistle blown. Lefevre, the beneficiary there. He's going to set up a free kick here for Marian Central. Lefevre right up the middle, and on the left-hand side, wearing number 6 is Tursky, the attacker. Also coming in is Susan Thomas. And the free kick here taken by Tess Bodorf. Bodorf's kick is quickly turned away by the Lady Knights, and coming up with the ball is Heather Sager. Sager goes up to Tejada. Tejada trying to create something offensively. She had a one-on-one battle, and a nice play there by Bodorf, and Tejada's going to throw it in. And Tejada's throw in. Looks a little frustrated on the play. That it's just quickly kicked back out of bounds by Sager, and it goes back to the Hurricanes. And here come the Lady Knights trying to find something, trying to connect with Tejada one more time. Tejada just gingerly walking there towards the top of the box, maybe looking for a nice lead pass, and Sager goes back. Kobayashi trying to get it back forward towards Tejada. Nothing happened there, and the Hurricanes will take over one more time. And back on the far side, Harmony Kenzora. And just keeping that ball in possession. Tursky goes to her left. Tursky looking. And nothing happened, and whistle blown. It's going to go back into possession of the Lady Knights. Good crowd here for both squads. And on the free kick here for the Lady Knights is Erin Sullivan. Check that, Danielle Mertzke here for the free kick for Triad, and she sends that one in. And it's going to be turned back over to the Hurricanes, and trying to track that ball down from behind. And it goes to Kobayashi. Kobayashi back over to Sager, and Sager tries to play it back in. But too many blue jerseys in front, and a little physical action there. And Tejada makes some contact from behind, no whistle called. Now Kobayashi tries to go back, and it's going to be picked off again here. Lefevre trying to make a play on the ball, and Lefevre goes down hard, makes a lot of contact that time with Sager. And again, it's going to go back into possession of the Lady Knights. So Lefevre whistled on that one. Mertzke back up for the free kick. And she's just going to pass it up to Brianna Schmidt, not Brianna Smith, like I said a moment ago. Now Schmidt with the free kick. And nobody near, and that's just going to roll out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick here for Marian Central. Both squads looking for their first state championship in school history and girls soccer.
Return to the game is number 20.
Triad, a runner-up in 2003 in Class A, a 1-0 overtime decision, losing to St. Viator that season. Viator with a 26-1 record.
Number 4.
And Marian,
Pierce Bailey.
their first appearance in the state tournament, and they're already in the state championship game, hoping to cash in with that first state title. And a whistle's blown. It's going to be a free kick here. Another one for Marian Central. Marian Central in their Columbia blue. Going to give that over to Tess Bodorf. Bodorf going to take the free kick. See where she goes with this, right up the middle of the field. Couple players there. She was looking for Lefevre. Lefevre there with Samantha Koffler. Koffler, another one of the goal scorers yesterday. Samantha Koffler, Robin Wenzel, and Laura Lefevre, the 3 goal scorers for the Hurricanes in yesterday's semifinal tilt. As Nudd plays that one back up to center, falls right into the hands of Rebecca Tursky. Tursky surrounded by 3 red jerseys, now playing it back to center. Kobayashi going back to her D. And trying to play it back up forward was Holly Abel. Abel can't connect and is picked off by Susan Pigot. Pigot back up to center on the far side, going down the sideline. Mismatch here for Marian Central, but a quick header almost made a connection there for Tursky, and Tursky tries to get in there, and that's just almost going to squeak in just a little bit wide of the net on the far side post, but a wide open net for Marian Central early on. And they cannot capitalize. And so it's going to set up another goal kick here for the Lady Knights. Danielle Mertzky going to take the kick. And some more substitutions here for both teams.
Katie Priebus.
And back up top come the Lady Knights. Lady Knights just going back to the D, trying to play it forward, but nobody home but Marian Central defenders. Now here comes Hart. Hart tries to play it up, but she turns it back over to Sager. Sager was looking for Rachel Bassett, and the whistle's going to be called, and it's going to be from Marian Central. Brianna Schmidt coming back up for the free kick. And Schmidt waiting for the free kick with 6 attackers right at the top of the box here for Triad. And here's Schmidt's kick. Goes over top the goal and trying to get a nice leaping grab. Nice save there for Caitlin Logan. Triad's first shot on net. Now Logan plays it up the midfield. Got a good leg behind that one. Pass mid. Trying to get it to a couple of her attackers. She's got Pierce Bailey up there. Bailey along with Rebecca Tursky, but surrounded by the defenders, led by Brianna Schmidt, and that one's going to be turned away. Another whistle called here. It's going to go in favor of the Hurricanes. And Bodorf going to take the ball for Marian Central, waiting to get the nod from the refs as Central gets set in position. A nice kick there by Bodorf, and that's going to go over the head of the defenders, and Cassidy Nudd just going to play the ball a little bit wide of the net and just take care of that one. Make sure no Marian Central attackers can get in position there. Nudd going to play this one back up to center. That ball played up by mid, headed a couple times and trying to chase it down is Meredith Went, but Went can't get to it quite quick enough, and it's going to go back to the Hurricanes.
And number 26.
And a pair of substitutions here for the Lady Knights. Coming in as number 25, Taylor Stevenson.
13, Susan Thomas.
And Maggie Carlson also, or Melanie King rather, and 26. And wait for another kick here. It's going to go to the Lady Knights. Brianna Schmidt on the far side, just a little bit past midfield. And again, 6 attackers up front, drawn closer to the net for the Lady Knights. Keeping an eye on Tejada. Tejada out of position, and here come the Hurricanes one more time. And Kobayashi just goes right back to the D, and they try to play it forward. And coming out of the net to play that ball is going to be Caitlin Logan. Caitlin Logan looking at Aaron Sullivan streaking in. Sullivan was defended closely there, though. And Logan plays that ball back up to mid. That's going to be headed once or twice. Kobayashi not able to make a play on it. Neither was Susan Thomas. But the Hurricanes see that one go way out of bounds.
For Triad, number 10.
And another substitution in here. Serena Hewlett in the game here for Triad. Just past the halfway point here in the first half in a scoreless tie for the Class 2A state championship. Now Triad trying to get something going, and almost making a play to get it deep inside the zone was Melanie King, but that's going to be quickly kicked back out of the zone, and back come the Hurricanes on the offensive. So far here in the early part of the title match, a lot of this game has been played in the midfield. Not too many opportunities to go offensive for either team. And that lead pass here for the Lady Knights just a little bit too far off the mark, and that ball is going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay in possession of Triad, and throwing it in for is Claire Stark. Stark looking for King that time, nothing happening there. And now playing the ball back toward the near sideline is Tursky. Tursky finds Lefevre. Lefevre coming up, makes one move, and she's tripped up on the play. No whistle called. And back comes the Lady Knights. And the Lady Knights in some contact there between Bodorf and Triad trying to set up offensively one more time on the far side. And that's just gonna go right back down to Danielle Mercy. Mercy tries to clear it, can't do it on the first try. And here it comes one more time. That was Claire Stark, still not able to clear it. Melanie King trying to get it out. And a nice job here by Susan Thomas, getting it back into the zone deep. Not any attackers in position there for the Hurricanes as they try to play it back up forward. And King one more time, not able to keep control of that ball. And back comes Robin Wenzel. Wenzel over to Lefevre. Lefevre stops and tries to make a nice centering pass here, but nobody home. It's going to be taken by the Lady Knights, and a crossing pass there, and that's going to go out of bounds deep in the Lady Knight territory. And to inbound the ball is going to be Privis. Katie Privis to the left.
For Marian Central, returning to the game is number 15.
Instead, Privis will drop the ball and head
Zora
off the field for a substitution.
With number 6, Rebecca Tursky.
Tursky coming in here.
For Triad, number 11.
And here for the throw, and it's
Madeline Van Pelt.
going to be Harmony Kenzora. Kenzora just a quick pass, looking for Lefevre. Now Lefevre trying to come in, trying to get it. Lefevre with the left foot, and she tries to get that shot on. It's going to go off of the Triad defender. It's going to set up a corner kick.
Corner kick coming up for
and
Marian
Lefevre
Central Catholic.
making her way over to the corner to take the kick herself.
Laura Lefevre getting set to take the kick.
And Lefevre getting set for the corner kick. 5 attackers in the box, couple on top, and Lefevre's kick, a nice looking kick, and the header attempt not able to connect on net, and just safely playing that ball out of bounds. It's going to stay in Hurricane possession, but just clearing the zone. Hurricane something, and that's going to go out of bounds. It's going to set up a goal kick here for the Lady Knights. And back is Danielle Merksky. And a handful of more substitutions here for the Lady Knights coming in. Number 4, Caitlin Jonas. As Mertzke gets that back up to center, it's going to be taken back by the Hurricanes. Hurricanes try to get it back in. Lefevre trying to make something happen with their feet. Can't do it. And instead here comes a streaking Harmony Kenzora, but Kenzora hitting the deck hard and also going down as Lefevre trying to make it, trips over the ball a little bit, and that's going to go out of bounds. But Kenzora limping a little bit on the field, taking a hard hit. The ref having a word with her. She appears to be okay. And Megan Hart will take the inbound throw. As the ref has a word here with Megan Hart. And Hart just goes over the top of Lefevre, and it goes into Lady Knight possession. It's going to be bounced around a couple times. It's going to go out of bounds in favor of Triad. Triad going to try it one more time, sending Caitlin Jones for the throw-in.
Number 19, Jennifer Lang.
And Jennifer Lang coming in here for the Lady Knights. And exiting the contest is Holly Abel, wearing 17. And for the throw-in, that's going to be headed quickly by Hart. Hart with a nice job to try to keep it in. And played off the foot of Burdoff. And trying to chase this down is Tejada. And on the far side is Natalie Sipley. Sipley and Tejada trying to get something going. And Sipley on the far side looking for a centering pass and tripped up there by the defense. That's going to be a free kick here for the Lady Knights. Sipley tripped up on the far side.
Up right now for the Lady Knights of Triad.
And about 20 to 25 yards or so from the net. We'll see if Brianna Schmidt can get anything going. 6 attackers inside the box. Tejada a little bit further out than anybody else. She's the top goal scorer for Triad. But here's Brianna Schmidt getting set for the free kick. Gets the whistle. Let's see where she goes with it. Right on top, attempting to head it, and it's just going to be quickly cut off there by Caitlin Logan. Logan not allowing anybody to make a play on that ball, and that's going to turn away the Lady Knights one more time. No score here with under 13 minutes to play in the first half of the 2A state championship match here in Naperville Central High School. Temperature in the mid to high 80s. A very humid day, not a strong breeze blowing, but a little bit of a breeze. And temperature down on the field in the lower 90s on this synthetic turf. And Tejada trying to make something happen by herself, and she's going to watch that ball go out of bounds. And it's going to be off of Tejada, so back to the Hurricanes. And for the throw-in here is going to be Susan Pigot. Pigot rather will
number 8
sub out, and
Samantha
coming in
Kofer
will be Samantha Koffler.
returns to the lineup.
And the Hurricanes throw it in on the far side past midfield. And that's going to go out of bounds one more time. This time it's going to go to the Lady Knights. And Lady Knights trying to get something going offensively here. A nice lead pass, but that's going to be wisely kicked out of bounds. Nobody home to make a play on the ball as it rolls out. And coming in for the Lady Knights for the throw-in will be Caitlin Jonas. Jonas with Aaron Sullivan to her right, and she looks for Sullivan. Sullivan plays it off the body. Looks like she might try to go back to Jonas. Jonas tries to center, and that's going to go out of bounds before.
No goal.
And a nice setup there, and if the ball didn't go out of
for the shot.
And that should not go down as a shot, as the ball did roll out of bounds prior to the kick.
The concession stand is open.
And so the Hurricanes take possession. If that would have stayed, that would have been a nice goal attempt there. But I don't believe that Caitlin Logan was giving it 100%. I think she saw that the flag went up and that ball was out of bounds. So back come the Hurricanes deep in their own territory with Heather Sager right in front. Hurricanes try to get it out. Coming in to make the play, Kenzora gets it out to Lefevre. Lefevre loses control a little bit, and the Lady Knights are going to take possession and lose possession. And back come the Hurricanes, some contact toward midfield. Susan Thomas lets that ball fall out of her own grasp, and back come the Lady Knights trying to make a play. There's Madeline Van Pelt. Van Pelt just sends it in. That's going to go out of bounds. Goal kick here for the Hurricanes. Tess Bodorf going to take the goal kick. 10 minutes of play here in the first half. No score between the Triad Lady Knights and the Marian Central Hurricanes. Bodorf gets it up to center. Both teams looking for their first state championship in school history and girls soccer. Triad coming out of the city of Troy, roughly 260 miles to our south. And coming in to make a play is Tejada possibly, but that ball is just going to be wisely kicked out of bounds. And that's going to set up a corner kick here for the Lady Knights.
Triad.
Troy about 15 miles or so northwest of St. Louis. Woodstock, Illinois, the home of Marian Central. About 50 miles to the northwest of Naperville.
Brianna Schmidt getting set to take the corner kick for the Lady Knights.
And here's Brianna Schmidt for the corner kick with 6 attackers. Again, Tejada out there toward the back, and it's aimed for Tejada with the header, possibly in a nice one-timer there. It would have been tipped in, but right in front of the ball was Caitlin Logan. Right place, right time, and we're still tied at 0. That ball weakly tipped off of the Tejada header. Not really a difficult save by Caitlin Logan, but still in the right place. And the Hurricanes trying to counter with an offensive attack toward mid, trying to send that pass down to Lefevre. And here come the Hurricanes. Coming in is Kenzora. Kenzora sliding as 4 players go down. Kenzora and Lefevre both on the turf, getting up slowly, and Cassidy Nudd went down along with the defender for the Lady Knights, and that ball was cleared promptly by one of the Triad defenders. Looked like the other player was Caitlin Jonas that hit the tack. And Susan Thomas trying to find some open space again here for the Hurricanes. Hurricanes trying to do something in the offensive zone. Robin Wenzel back to her right and trying to find Lefevre. Instead, it's going to go to Kenzora. And Lefevre trying to come in here, and it's going to be played rather easily again by Cassidy Nudd. With Lefevre charging into the box, Nudd comes up to play it and gets it back out to center. And that ball's headed back into Hurricane territory, and Bodorf going to play that one. That's going to go out of bounds. She had Tejada breathing right down her neck. That's going to be a throw-in. It looks like it's going to be Brianna Schmidt on the far side. Schmidt actually heading to the bench. We'll see who throws the ball.
Wilde, number 17, Holly Abel, and number 20,
both teams making substitutions.
To the lineup. For Marian Central, number 2, Amy Rackenberg.
And that ball played in, looking for Tejada again. Tejada been
Katie Previs.
Pretty well kept under wraps here in the first half.
To the lineup. Also for Triad,
and the Lady
23,
Knights
Claire
making
Stark.
more substitutions. Exiting the game right now is Caitlin Jonas. And out the throw in. And a nice toss there by the Lady Knights, and the header attempt just a little bit off the mark. And a shot on goal well wide over the net on the near side. That's going to be a goal kick here for the Hurricanes. Scoring opportunities for both teams, few and far between. Unofficially, only 1 shot on goal for each squad in a scoreless duel. As Bodorf gets that back up to center, that ball going to be played off the head of Alyssa Patterson. Patterson tries to get it into Alyssa Wilde. Wilde to Tejada. Tejada trying to make something happen on her own, but quickly closed in by 3 Hurricane defenders. And Privis goes down hard. She was hit running by Claire Stark, and Privis obviously upset on the play. And then a little further up the field, Privis upset that nothing was called. But further up, a whistle blown. Is going to go in favor of the Lady Knights. We'll see who takes the free kick. Tejada right up there with Brianna Schmidt. And Tejada's going to take the free kick. And Tejada with the laser over and off the crossbar, and it goes in! An unfortunate bounce for the Hurricanes, and Tejada off the free kick A perfect setup. And just like that, goal number 40. And the deadlock is broken. It's 1-0 in favor of Triad. That goal coming at the 34-39 mark. And Rachel Tejada. And we'll see if there is an assist credited. If there's an assist credited, it would go to Brianna Schmidt.
Triad goal was scored by number 2, Rachel Tejada. At
In Tejada's third game in 2 nights. She scored both goals yesterday. And just a laser of a shot. It looked like Caitlin Logan was able to get over there. It bounced off the near side post and just bounced barely inside the net. And as we get set back in to play, we'll see if the intensity picks up here for the Hurricanes. Now Tejada taking the ball herself. She's got one attacker right in front of her, and that's going to go a little bit too far in front and denied. She was looking for Alyssa Wilde, Tejada was. Wilde, the attacker up on the far side of the field. And another free kick here for Triad. It's going to be Brianna Schmidt one more time. Schmidt to take it about 45 yards or so out from the goal. A nice kick there for Schmidt, but that's going to go over the head of all the attackers and out of bounds, setting up a goal kick to be taken by Tess Bodorf. And a couple more substitutions here.
Rachel
Bassett coming in here along with Bailey Boss. As Bodorf's goal kick comes in, and a collision there. Privis goes down again. Just a couple minutes ago, she went down about that same exact spot, and a whistle called this time, and it's going to be a free kick in favor of the Hurricanes. Tess Bodorf going to take it. Privis advancing up, and she's got Lefevre to her left. Bodorf, a nice kick. And trying to play the ball was Robin Wenzel, but a little bit too high for her. Now coming back is Susan Thomas. Susan Thomas tries to get one on net, but that's just going to be a little bit wide on the far post. Now a goal kick here. Going to be taken for the Lady Knights. Danielle Merksey sends it toward midfield, not quite to midfield, and that's going to be quickly picked off there. And here come the Hurricane. Hurricane trying to find Lefevre, and Lefevre's lead pass just a little bit too far in front. It's going to be kicked out of bounds by Brianna Schmidt. And coming in for the throw-in is Megan Hart. Hart's got Privis to her left, and she tries to find Lefevre coming in. Lefevre knocked down, taken down hard that time by Claire Stark. No whistle. The ball bounces around a couple times off of Tejada's foot, and on the far side here come the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes tripped up from behind. Tripped up, that looked like it was Amy Reckenberg. Now back to play. A centering pass, but kicked out of bounds that time by Danielle Merksey, and it's going to go back to the Hurricanes up on the far side. And the Hurricanes inbound it, looking for Lefevre. And that's off at the foot of Lefevre. It's headed a couple times, and that's going to go near out of bounds. It's going to be coming up to play it. And a dangerous play there, and a kick out of bounds. But Cassidy Nudd coming up to play wasn't able to maintain control of that ball.
For Triad, number 24.
And fortunately for Triad, that's going to go out of bounds and just set up a goal kick. At that time, the Lady Knights playing with fire. Cassidy Nudd coming out. And a whistle call. This time it's going to go to the Hurricanes, and they're rushing their play as we're inside a minute of the first half. And here comes Bodorf again. Bodorf on the free kick. Bodorf with a laser, and it's just going to go right into the wall. And back comes Thomas. Thomas tries to get that one in. It's just going to go out of bounds. Again, wide on the near side. Another Lady Knight goal kick here. And it's going to be Danielle Merksey again. And the Lady Knights just going to take their time with 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. Megan Hart going to try to get it over to Privis. Privis centers it, maybe try to get one last shot on, but not going to happen. It's going to trickle down, and that's going to do it for the first half here in the 2011 2A state championship match. Our score is 1-0, courtesy of Rachel Tejada, her 40th goal of the season.
Now it's a good chance to visit the concession
and that's where we stand after one half of play. We're going to take a break here on the IHSA TV network and come back with stats from the first half and second half action here from Naperville Central High School. Keep it right here. We'll be back shortly. And welcome back to Naperville Central High School here in Naperville, Illinois. Getting ready for second half action for the 2011 IHSA Class 2A State Championship match between the Triad Lady Knights and the Marian Central Hurricanes. Right now our score is 1-0 in favor of the Lady Knights of Triad. That goal coming courtesy of Rachel Tejada, goal number 40 on the campaign, coming from the foot of Brianna Schmidt with the assist at the 34-38 mark of the first. Both teams with 2 shots on goal. So even in that department, although the scoreboard is tilted right now in favor of the Lady Knights, and both teams have had opportunities. The defense so far for the Lady Knights has been fairly stout as both teams switch sides here for the second half, going from left to right. Will be Marian Central in their Columbia blue uniforms, their blue tops, blue shorts, and blue socks. And going from right to left, trying to defend this 1-goal lead will be Triad rather, with their Cardinal tops, Cardinal shorts, and Cardinal socks. And the first touch here is going to go to Triad. And getting set here for second half action. We'll see what kind of adjustments have been made here by both teams. Let's see if Marian Central can do a better job of getting inside the offensive zone as Tejada sends that ball deep right away. She was looking for Madeline Van Pelt, who's streaking on the far right-hand side. Now Brianna Schmidt going to play that back up to center. Going to go up top. Lady Knights trying to get it back into the zone. She was looking for Sager. Sager surrounded by a couple defenders though, nobody home, and that ball is going to be kicked a couple times here for the Lady Knights, trying to get it back in the zone and searching for either Sipley or Aaron Sullivan, but that's going to go back to the Hurricanes, and trying to find Lefevre was Rebecca Tursky, but that ball just a little bit off the mark and they weren't able to connect here on the right hand side. Now for the throw-in is Pierce Bailey. Bailey that time looking for Tursky as it ball bounces around a couple times near the top of the box, and trying to play it defensively is Caitlin Jonas. Jonas going down and over near the far corner. Samantha Koffler. Koffler trying to find some space. And that ball is just going to roll out of bounds. We'll see who it went off of last. It looks like it's going to be Hurricane ball of Megan Hart on the far side for the throw-in. Hart looking for Koffler again. And that ball turned away fairly easily by Danielle Merksey. Hurricanes throw it in one more time. Koffler with possession, surrounded by 2 Lady Knight defenders. And that ball is going to skip up into Aaron Sullivan. And Sipley tries to play it to Tejada. Tejada gets it in. Trying to find Sullivan again, but Sullivan covered pretty well there by the Hurricane defense. That ball's just going to roll out of bounds, setting up a goal kick here for Triad. We'll see who takes it, if it's going to be Merksy one more time, and it appears so. Merksy handling all the goal kick tasks here for the Lady Knights. And Merksy getting ready for the goal kick, sends it in deep. And that ball off the head that time of Robin Wenzel. Wenzel looking for Lefevre. Nobody home, and it's going to be bounced off a couple bodies. Wenzel fighting for position. A lot of contact there between Wenzel and Heather Sager, and that's going to go in possession of Marian Central. Getting set here for the free kick. We'll see if Bodorf takes it. It appears that it is going to be Bodorf. 6 attackers at the top of the box here for the Hurricanes. On the free kick, a wall set up right out in front for the Lady Knights, and Bodorf is going to chip that one up top, and that's just going to go harmlessly on net, and Cassidy Nudd is right there. The third shot on goal for Marian Central. And that ball is going to be played back to center. That's a little bit too far from Rebecca Tursky. And back out to center, and it goes out of bounds. Megan Hart again for the throw-in. Hart looking for Lefevre right in front of her. And Lefevre goes down from behind. And a whistle blown. It's going to be another free kick. And the whistle that time on Alyssa Patterson for the Lady Knights. And Bodorf getting set here for another free kick. Gets it near the top of the box. That's going to be a head attempt by Lefevre, but can't connect, and Cassidy Nudd one more time just scoops it up, makes a safe play, and is going to play this ball back out to center. And that ball bounces around a couple times back into Megan Graff. Graff, first time we called her name today. That's back over to Thomas. Thomas just plays it back to Bodorf in her defensive position. Bodorf chips it to Susan Pigot. Pigot back over to Bodorf. And back again, right to center. We'll see where they go. Just playing a little give and go right now. See if they can create some open space, try to break the defense. And Thomas can't get it past the defense. It ricochets a couple times as she loses balance on the play. Gets back up. And Caitlin Jonas tries to play it deep into the Hurricane zone, but that's going to sail out of bounds a little bit past midfield. And the Hurricanes are going to get the throw, and it looks like it's going to be Megan Hart up on the top side. And a much better job here in the second half for Marian Central, controlling the midfield section of the field, keeping a little bit more pressure on the defensive Triad. Triad so far hasn't really had any luck on going on the offensive. And off the free kick, Merksy gets that past midfield, but it's going to be played here again, and it's going to be kicked, and one of the players for Triad goes down fairly hard, gets right back up. I like to see the sportsmanship there. The Marian Central player, can't exactly tell who that is. It looked like Susan Thomas made contact there. Checking on, it looked like that was Heather Sager that went down, and it is Heather Sager for Triad. And we get a free kick here. Tess Bodorf one more time with 3 defenders behind her, 6 attackers in front of her. Bodorf again chips it in, and much like her last free kick, it goes over everybody and easily played by Cassidy Nudd. The 4th shot on goal for Marian Central as they trail 1-0 with over 30 minutes to play here in the second half of the Class 2A title game. And now a battle for position here inside the zone. Nice individual effort right there by Erin Sullivan. Sullivan able to get back to Sipley. Sipley looking for Tejada. Back over to Sullivan. Sullivan tries to play it deep. Let's see if she can go back, and she's going to go back to find Sipley. And that ball's just going to be headed back out of the box. But a nice job there by Erin Sullivan. good individual effort. Now Sipley trying to make a play on the ball. That's going to go over to Madeline Van Pelt. Van Pelt crosses over to the center. Over to Sager. Sager moving it herself. Back over to Sipley. Van Pelt playing it back over to center. Can't do anything with it. She's immediately met by Thomas. And that ball chipped back in. And trying to make something happen by herself with Erin Sullivan, but two defenders right in front of her. That was Graf and Bodorf, and a nice header there to avoid the shot on goal by Bodorf. And Sipley trying to chip this in one more time. That'll go to shot on goal. Fairly weakly hit ball. And the Lady Knights are turned away one more time. Back up for the Hurricanes, playing that one off the foot is Pierce Bailey. Bailey watches that go out of bounds. Lefevre can't quite catch up to that, and it's going to be thrown in here by Holly Abel. And we have a few more substitutions here for both teams.
For Triad, returning to the game is number 23, Claire Stark, and number 24,
Holly Abel waiting.
Sachi Kobayashi.
The 5'5" senior with one assist on the season, no goals on the campaign.
Katie Prizes.
And Thomas tries to dump that in deep for Van Pelt, for Lefevre rather. Lefevre can't quite catch up to that, and it's going to be another toss in here by Abel.
For Triad, number 14.
As we await a few more substitutions here for Triad, exiting the game is Erin Sullivan. Coming in for Sullivan is Alyssa Wilde. And Schmidt tries to clear that, and it's going to be played up near mid. A nice job by getting it behind her for Sager. Now Sager tries to play it herself up on the far side, just getting past midfield. And it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by the Hurricanes, they say. And a nice toss in there. Looking for Tejada. Tejada getting by the defense, and it's an odd man opportunity here for the Lady Knights, and that play thwarted there. Nice play defensively. Then here comes the shot for Triad, but that's just going to go wide of the net on the near side.
For the Lady Knights, number 20.
Tejada trying to make a quick strike.
Returns to the game.
And Meredith Wendt coming into the game for Sipley for the Lady Knights. And Bodorf for the goal kick one more time. Going to send it toward midfield. Looking a little bit to her right. She's got Lefevre trying to chase this one down with two defenders in front of her. Lefevre, nice hustle down the plane. That's going to go out of bounds. It looks like off the foot of one of the Lady Knight defenders, and it does. It's going to be a throw in. Lefevre bringing it in herself. Looking for Wenzel. Wenzel dumped it over to Tursky, and Tursky's shot well wide of the goal. Set up a goal kick here, another one for Danielle Merksky. And the pace is slowed down here a little bit in the second half. Got to think that the heat might be getting to both teams. Temperature in the high 80s, 86 degrees last time we checked, and very humid outside. The sun's shining. And especially on that synthetic turf, you'd gotta imagine adding about 5 degrees or so on the field before the game. You could definitely tell that the temperature was increased and not much of a breeze blowing down at field level. Hurricanes trying to create some open space here, and that just goes right back to Bodorf and her defensive position. Bodorf tries to go right up to the center. She was looking for Pagat. Pagat has her pass deflected. Thomas back over to Pagat. And just going back and forth and trying to find an open spot for Pagat. Not able to do so, and a possible odd man opportunity here. And that ball just very wisely kicked out of bounds by Tess Bodorf, not allowing Rachel Tejada to get a one-on-one battle or possibly a breakaway. Tejada has been the difference in this one, scoring the lone goal in the first half at the 34-38 mark off of the pass from Danielle Schmidt. And Thomas trying to make a play on that, falls down on the process. Also going down was Privis down on the far side. Privis trying to track that ball down. Some nice passing here for the Lady Knights. And Graff tried to head that one out of bounds, unable to do so. And here's Tejada on Graff. Tejada trying to make something happen. Tejada tried to cross it over. Tejada's got a nice opportunity there. Tejada with a good crossing pass to Alyssa Patterson. Patterson's shot is deflected. And now back on the other side, trying to capitalize on the save that time. The Hurricanes can't get the rush on the offensive side, but a nice stop there defensively for Marian Central to keep it a 1-0 game. That shot didn't get on net, deflected off the defender. And the Hurricanes try to counter with an offensive burst of their own. Lady Knights play it back up to center. Patterson taking it, trying to center it, trying to get it to Tejada. Tejada plays it off the body, then tries to set herself up, but can't make anything happen. Two defenders quickly close in on her, and it's played back up to center. Schmidt turns it over, and some contact there between Schmidt and Pierce Bailey. Rather, that was Robin Wenzel instead of Pierce Bailey. Now the ball comes, it's dumped in deep, and it's just going to be kicked out of bounds. We'll see if it's a goal kick or a corner kick. It looks like it's going to be a goal kick for Danielle Mertzke. And a pair of substitutions for both squads again. Exiting the game for Marian Central is Susan Thomas. Coming in, number 4, Pierce Bailey. And Amy Reckenberg also on the field here for Marian Central. And Reckenberg immediately plays that one off the foot, trying to split the defense with 2 defenders around her. And back come the Lady Knights. That one played off of Alyssa Wilde. Wilde gets it over to Sager. Sager trying to find a streaking Tejada up on the far side. Tejada with 2 defenders in front of her, beats one, and see if she can do a nice crossing pass. Stops, and she's looking for Sipley, and that pass is broken up there. Nice job by Megan Graff. Anytime Tejada gets that ball, she's going to have 2 defenders around her rather quickly. She's got to make her move pretty quick, or else that defense is going to close in, and that's been the story so far. The one goal coming off of a free kick, which careened off of the post and made its way inside the goal. As that ball up on the far side, out of bounds. It looks like it was off of Katie Privis. And some more substitutions for Triad. As that ball's played in, Tejada plays it off the head. And Sipley tries to chase it down near the corner. Can't do so, and it's going to be played out. Another job defensively by Graff. And chipping it back in and trying to get the redirect there. A nice opportunity in the rebound. Tejada with a nice opportunity again. Dangerous play there by Caitlin Logan, unable to get that ball under control. And the shot by Tejada just over top the goal, and it sails out of bounds, setting up another corner or another goal kick. And now here's Reckenberg trying to take the pass from Lefevre. Reckenberg unable to catch up to that one. Now Lefevre tries to play it back. Lefevre back over to Tursky. Tursky tried to get it in but can't do it, and tripping up on the play was Lefevre. And Tursky back over to her left. Tursky trying to find Pierce Bailey. Pierce Bailey can't connect on that pass and watches that ball sail well out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in on the far side. It's going to be Megan Hart. So we have a couple more substitutions. Entering the game is Susan Thomas, and she's coming in for Tursky. And the Hurricanes one more time trying to get something going here offensively. Lefevre has that play broken up, and coming around is Robin Wenzel. Robin Wenzel dumps it in, and some contact there between Wenzel and Sager. Play goes on. And back come the Lady Knights. Tejada's pass a little bit off the mark. She was looking for Alyssa Wilde. Wilde with the defender right next to her. And Wilde with a nice pass here for Tejada. Tejada inside the box. Let's see if she can get a shot off, and she does. And that's just far, a little bit too far to the left. Wide on the near side. But Tejada flexing her muscle that time, beating the defender, and was able to get the shot off. Setting up another Tess Bodorf goal kick as we get some more substitutions. Bodorf gets it out toward mid, looking for Lefevre. And that ball just goes back out of bounds. For the throw, it's going to be Susan Pagat. Pagat going right down the line, looking for Lefevre. Lefevre heads it back to Reckenberg. Reckenberg tries to play it forward herself, but that's going to go off the foot and out of bounds. Holly Abel for the throw in. Waiting for a couple more substitutions. Exiting the game right now is Sager and Kobayashi.
Triad,
coming back on the field is Madeline Van Pelt.
And number 22.
And also Rachel Bassett.
Will return to the game.
As Meredith went, awaits the inbound pass, and she gets it in. Went all the way down to Wilde. Wilde can't control it, and a sliding effort there. And landing back on the track was Bodorf. Gets back up and resumes play. Lefevre makes one move, gets around the defender. Tries to make a second move, but she can't get by Holly Abel. Holly Abel breaks up the rush and gets it back up to Sipley. Sipley trying to play it, but is run down from behind. Now Thomas tries to control that ball, but it gets a little bit out of reach. Now back over to the Lady Knights. Tejada plays it back to Van Pelt, back to Tejada, but it's just out of her reach, and it's going to roll to Caitlin Logan, who's going to play it back up to mid. Just about halfway past the second period. Our score still 1-0 here in Naperville Central High School. The one goal coming at the 34-38 mark of the first half. Brianna Schmidt to Rachel Tejada. Tejada's 40th of the campaign. And the Lady Knights trying to come back up. And that pass nowhere near a red jersey, and it's going to be taken by Bodorf. And back up come the Hurricanes. Thomas takes it back, running to from behind. Thomas tries to go up to Reckenberg. Reckenberg try to chase that ball down, but Holly Abel going to be able to get there first. And Merksky tries to clear it. Back over to Thomas. Thomas with one move. Thomas right down the sideline, tries to center it. She's got a couple attackers there, but that's going to be turned away again by Merksky. And kept in by Bodorf. Bodorf with a nice job keeping it in. She was looking for Robin Wenzel. That ball played back to center. And Reckenberg unable to do so, in a tough collision there, and that's going to be a whistle awarded to Triad. And taking the free kick, it appears it's going to be Kendall Keller. And Keller's kick, not very strong. It just rolls and is right to the Hurricane, and trying to make a play by herself, trying to get a breakaway. Here comes Robin Wenzel, and Robin Wenzel tripped up and it's going to get the whistle. And that's going to be a free kick here.
A free kick is coming up for the Hurricanes.
We'll see who takes it.
Central Catholic.
Coming in, it looks like it's going to be Susan Thomas, perhaps. We'll see who's going to take the free kick here. Susan Thomas.
Susan Thomas to
about
take free kick.
15 yards, 25 yards or so from the net, and we'll see where she goes with this. Thomas's kick right over top, and that's going to go in. Susan Thomas, unassisted, goes top shelf, and this game is tied at 1. Susan Thomas, number 13, lucky number 13 on the season,
Susan
ties it up.
Scores the equalizer at 71-42, unassisted.
And just like
Susan
that,
Thomas.
this is a completely different ball game. Trailing 1-0 most of the contest. Susan Thomas ties it up at the 71-42 mark here in the second half. With a little over 18 minutes to play. The 13th goal of the season for Susan Thomas, one of the captains here for Marian Central. The senior midfielder.
61-42.
Correction on the time of that goal, actually 61-42 instead of 71-42. As we get set to resume play here. Now let's see how Triad responds as we get a substitution here. Exiting the game right now is Alyssa Wilde. Coming in for Wilde is going to be number 2, Rachel Tejada, who looked like she took a breather there for a moment. Now with the tie ball game with just over 18 minutes to play, let's see if the intensity picks up. Let's see if Triad responds in a positive manner. It's anybody's game at this point. A state championship on the line with 18 minutes and change to play, and that ball sent deep into the zone. Chasing it down is Sager. Sager can't catch up to him. It's going to be kicked out of bounds. It's going to be Lady Night ball. And over on the far side, we await the throw in. 6 attackers inside the box here for the Lady Knights. And a nice job getting that in. Keller tries to center, and that ball is going to go out of bounds.
We have a corner kick coming up for Triad.
And here comes a corner kick here for Triad. Brianna Schmidt getting set for the corner kick. And see if the Lady Knights can capitalize on this opportunity. 7 attackers up front here for the Lady Knights, and Bray Schmidt's pass is right on the money, but that's going to be kicked right out by the Hurricanes. A nice job defensively. Brianna Schmidt's corner kick right where they wanted it, but the defensive positioning there for the Hurricanes just about perfect, and they're turned away. Now Hurricanes play it back up to mid. Privis over on the far side. Privis tripped up and goes down hard. Privis taking a beating in this one. This is the 3rd rough hit that she's taken. And clearly upset on the play. Gets up, checking up on that shoulder. Looks like she's tripped up by Rachel Bassett. And now the free kick here. Looks like it's going to be taken by Botto one more time. But Privis gets up, plays on. And Botto up there with a nice kick. And the first one there looked like it was one of the Lady Knight defenders, unable to see exactly who that was. Looks like it was Mertzke, and that ball just going to trickle, almost goes out of bounds. Cassidy Nudd playing it herself. Going to take this one back to center, and we're 16 minutes from the end of regulation, possibly staring overtime in the face. And that ball squibbed back into the hands of Heather Sager. Sager trying to get back up to Alyssa Patterson. Patterson sees that go back into the Lady Knight zone. And Nudd gonna play it herself. Nudd taking her time, brings it back out to center. And Susan Thomas heads it back into the zone. And here comes Lefevre. Lefevre trying to race down the ball. Lefevre streaking down the sideline. All she's got is one defender to beat. And she tries to turn the corner, and she does so. And Lefevre watches that ball go out of bounds. And it's going to be a corner kick here.
Corner kick coming up
for Marian Central. And it's going to be Laura Lefevre taking the corner kick herself.
Getting set to take the kick.
Just under 15 minutes to play here in the second half, tied at 1. We're getting set here for a Marian Central corner kick. And see if the Hurricanes can capitalize on this. Lefevre gets it in and bringing it in, and almost coming in, it looked like was Rebecca Tursky, but Tursky turned away, and that was headed out by Mursky instead. Tursky and Mursky on the play there for the opposing teams, and it's going to be a goal kick here. Danielle Mursky going to take the goal kick. She's handled those duties all afternoon long. And Mursky gets it back out to center. And coming in for the quick head is Tursky. That's going to roll down, and Privis is going to play that. Privis battling with Heather Sager, and that's going to go out of bounds in favor of the Hurricanes. More substitutions. Exiting the game is Rachel Bassett. Coming in for Bassett appears to be Erin Sullivan. Also coming off is Melanie King. Coming back onto the field is Meredith Wendt for the Lady Knights. As the Hurricanes take possession in midfield, trying to play that up, but that's going to be kicked out of bounds by Sipoli.
Blues number 6, Rebecca Tursky.
And Robin Wenzel on the far side, trying to inbounds it to Pierce Bailey. But Bailey sees that just roll and cleared out by Mursky. But back come the Hurricanes on the far side, and that ball's going to be kicked out of bounds. And we'll try it one more time as that ball rolls out of bounds again. This time in favor of Triad.
Number 12.
And some more substitutions. Kendall Keller coming in for Triad. She's going to spell Mursky. Mursky going to the bench to get a breather. So we get the throw in. And that was intended there for Tejada. Tejada not able to make a play on that ball, and that's going to roll all the way out of bounds, setting up a goal kick here.
For the Hurricanes, number 2, Amy Reckenberg returns to the lineup.
And Reckenberg comes back on the field here for Marian Central. And the goal kick here for the Lady Knights. Almost picked off, but back out to center. And a long lead pass here intended for either Tejada or Erin Sullivan. But Bodorf quickly clears that, gets it back up to mid. And both teams just trading possessions here. And coming back, trying to find a wide open Rebecca Tursky, but that's quickly broken up by Meredith Wendt. That's going to go out of bounds. Wendt going to take the ball herself for the throw-in. A nice toss there by Meredith Wendt. That's going to find Bodorf. Bodorf makes some contact there with Erin Sullivan. Both hit the deck, get right back up. No whistle called. And out of bounds one more time. And went for the inbound. She's got Sipoli in front of her, but she looks for Tejada instead. Tejada out-dueled that time by Bodorf, and it's going to go back to Holly Abel. Holly Abel makes hard collision there, and Holly Abel is down on the turf in obvious pain. And see if we get a stoppage of play here, and we do. Holly Abel down. And the coaches and trainers coming out on the field to attend to Holly Abel. Let's hope that she's okay. And with just over 10 minutes to go here in the second half, certainly not what you want to see on the field. Holly Abel down, getting attended to by the trainer. And head coach Mike Villa coming out to attend Holly Abel. Abel in 23 games this season, only 1 shot on net officially. She does have 2 assists on the season for the senior. And Holly Abel back on her feet. And limps off the field. That's good to see. Getting a round of applause here from the crowd. Certainly nobody on either side of the fence here wants to see any of these players hurt here in the championship game.
7 nice hand for number 17.
And good to see Abel able to walk off on her own power. And it looks like Caitlin Jonas will be substituting here for Holly Abel. A little over 10 minutes to go here in the second half as we wait for play to resume. It's going to be played by Cassidy Nudd. And Brianna Schmidt's going to come down and take the ball here for the Lady Knights. Schmidt gets it right out the center, and that's going to be kept in there by Robin Wenzel. Wenzel doing a nice job, and now it's going to be played by Meredith Wendt. Wendt kicks it back to Claire Stark. Stark back up, tries to get it to Sipley. Nobody home that time. Sipley can't control the head. And back comes Thomas. Thomas, the lone goal scorer here for Marian Central, sees that ball go out of bounds. And coming in for the throw-in is going to be Susan Pigot. Pigot with an attacker right to her left, and she goes right to Robin Wenzel. Wenzel quickly closed in by Sipley, but it's going to go back over to Tursky. Tursky in the center, goes wide. She's looking for Megan Hart. Megan Hart on the far side. Makes a couple moves and is going to be bested there that time by Heather Sager. Heather Sager takes control of it again. Sager back one more time. She was fine at trying to find Sipley. Now Tursky making a lot of contact on the far side. No whistle called. And both teams going back and forth with possession. Now a possible breakaway here by Erin Sullivan, but Sullivan can't do anything with it, and she's tripped up almost on the play by Tess Bodorf.
And we have some subs coming in.
And some more substitutions here for both teams as we get set for the throw-in.
Marian Central, we have number 4, Pierce Bailey.
Pierce Bailey coming in for Marian Central. And
for Triad, number 5, Danielle Marksky.
And Danielle Marksky coming back in here.
Back in the game.
For the Lady Knights as we get set to resume play. That goes back to Bodorf in her defensive position. Bodorf tries to play it back up. Looking for Susan Thomas off the foot of Thomas, and that's going to go right back to Sipley. Sipley gets it to Patterson. Patterson tries to play it up, and now Tejada trying to make a play on it. And Tejada to Erin Sullivan. Erin Sullivan with the possible breakaway, and they're going to call offsides, it looks like. Going to be a free kick here. Could have been a nice breakaway there for Erin Sullivan. She did have the defender Bodorf right next to her, so it was remained to be seen if she was going to be able to get a shot off, but offside's the whistle. And it blows it dead. No, here comes Bodorf with the free kick. Inside 10 minutes to play here in the second half of a 1-1 tie for the 2A state championship. And back out to center, Sipley. Sipley just blows by the defender. Now it's 3-on-3. Sipley tries to go to her left. She had 2 attackers to her right. She had Tejada and Sullivan to her right. Instead, the ball's going to go out of bounds. It's going to change hands. Back over to the Hurricanes.
Returns to the lineup.
And Katie Privis coming back on the field. And she's coming in for Reckenberg. Reckenberg exiting the game.
Alyssa Wilde and number 24,
Sipley coming off. And Kobayashi and Wilde coming in here for the Lady Knights. As the Hurricanes await to throw this ball back in. And they do so. Pigot playing it back near the corner. Pigot back over to Burdoff. And that play picked off there by Tejada. Tejada trying to get a shot off on the right foot of Tejada, just a little bit wide on the near side post. Tejada just sneaking up, grabbing that ball from Burdoff. Tess Bodorf, not Burdoff. Check that. And now trying to find Privis. That time was Susan Thomas. Now Privis throws it back in, goes right back to Thomas, and a whistle blown. And it's going to go back to the Lady Knights. And here for the throw-in is Meredith Wendt. See where she goes with it. Meredith Wendt tries to go right down the field. Nice arm on Meredith. And she's looking for Wilde. Wilde trying to make something happen, but Bodorf goes back to Susan Thomas. Thomas plays it back up the line, no one home. Maybe looking for Lefevre, and that's going to go out of bounds off of the Hurricanes. Lefevre unable to catch up with that ball. And for the throw in here is Claire Stark. Stark goes up top looking for Wilde. Wilde can't play, and it's going to go back in the zone, but here comes Brianna Schmidt. Schmidt with a long kick into the zone. Let's see if Tejada can catch up to it. And Tejada won't catch up to it. That played off of the head of Bodorf, but Tejada trying to make something happen. Makes a couple moves, and it gets the whistle. Now it's going to be a free kick here, called for the Lady Knights.
And we have
this is a kick coming up for key opportunity here for Triad with a little over 5 minutes here to play in the 2A championship game. The first goal scored for the Lady Knights was scored off of a free kick. And it looks like they're going to go with that same strategy with Schmidt,
up there in the bunch is number
Patterson,
2,
and
Tejada
right up top. Let's see if Tejada can capitalize on this one.
7, Brianna Schmidt.
And the same thing, Tejada that time blocked. A nice play coming in. Sacrificing the body is Robin Wenzel, and it's going to go out of bounds. And that time they sniffed it out. They weren't going to allow that to get near the net. And we're still tied at 1, under 5 minutes to play here in regulation. But threatening inside the box are the Lady Knights, and that's going to go possibly out of bounds. See if they can catch up to it, and they do not, and it's going to change hands, go back to the Hurricanes. And Graff on the far side, or Hart on the far side with the throw-in. It's going to go back out of bounds. And as we get another substitution, next into the game is Claire Stark, and coming in for Stark is Holly Abel back into the game after that hard hit a few minutes back. And we get going here again. Lady Knights trying to set up one more time, and playing that ball is Wenzel. Wenzel, they're battling with Kobayashi, and Kobayashi gets it to Tejada. Tejada with the left foot tries to get a goal, and that's just a little bit too much on it. Goes over top and out of bounds, setting up the goal kick. But for much of the second half, Tejada's been rather quiet, but here in the last couple minutes, Tejada with a few nice opportunities to try to put the ball in the back of the net. We're still tied at 1, and that shouldn't be called a handball. And it goes back to the Hurricanes. Over to Privis. Privis turns it over near midfield, and it's going to be kicked back into the offensive zone, quickly turned away by Graff. And it's going to roll all the way out of bounds. The nearest one was Pierce Bailey for Marian Central, but Bailey can't catch up to that one. It's going to go back to the Lady Knights. Lady Knights inbound it. And on the far side, here comes Triad. Kobayashi trying to make a play, but can't do so. And here comes a streak in Lefevre. Lefevre with 1 to beat, can't do it. And Merksky is going to see that one almost go out of bounds, saved. Back over to Kobayashi. Kobayashi trying to make a play, trying to get it farther up, and she's got Tejada. Tejada with 3, 4, 5 defenders around her. She was looking possibly for Heather Sager, but Sager unable to catch up that one. A little bit of frustration there for Tejada. Threw her arms up in the air, expecting somebody to be there in the open space. And that ball deflected off of one of the captains there for the Lady Knights, and back into Hurricane possession with 2.5 minutes here to play in regulation. Still tied at 1. Now back over to Patterson. Patterson dumps it back to Schmidt. Schmidt with a long lead pass that's going to be headed back out. Now here comes Patterson one more time. Patterson looking for Tejada. Centering pass for Tejada. Tejada tries to chip it in, and that's going to go just outside of the... A near miss that time. A golden opportunity to get the second goal and break this 1-1 deadlock. Tejada on the redirect, and just like the shot moments ago, that's just going to go wide of the net on the near side. Set up the goal kick. Here's Bodorf one more time. And some contact there, and Sarah Thomas takes the short end of that stick, and it's going to be a free kick here. Minute and a half remaining here in regulation. Free kick coming up here for the Hurricanes. See if they get one last offensive rush. And Bodorf going to take the kick here for the Hurricanes like she's done all afternoon long. And Bodorf gets a pass center and tried to head it in, but Patterson tries to clear it. Patterson unable to do so, and on the far side, it's Caitlin Jones and Pierce Bailey battling each other, both players wearing number 4. And Graf tries to center, but Kobayashi with the deflection. And Bailey again sends it deep. She's looking for Privis. Privis trying to make something happen, and going down is Cassidy Nudd, and that's going to be a whistle. Cassie Nudd coming way outside the box again, trying to make a play on the ball. That's going to be a free kick here for the Lady Knights. 30 seconds to play. And unless there's something wild here in the last little bit, we're looking at overtime here to settle the 2A state championship. Again, tied at 1.
9,
Graf over on the
8,
far side trying to play
7,
it up.
6, 5,
Graf can't do
4,
it. Bailey tries
3,
to chip it back in, but nobody's going to be there,
1.
and we are headed to overtime.
And we are going into overtime.
A possible chance of 4 overtime periods, each 10 minutes long.
Soccer championship.
And if 4 overtimes aren't going to be enough, we will go to penalty kicks. So we're going to take a brief timeout here on the IHSA TV network here for the 2011 IHSA Class 2A Girls Soccer Championships, and a 1-1 tie between the Triad Lady Knights and the Marian Central Hurricanes. We'll be right back here from Naperville Central High School.
Right, folks, you have a
2011 IHSA Class 2A State Championship game for girls soccer. After regulation, a full 80 minutes, we are tied at 1 between the Triad Lady Knights and the Marian Central Hurricanes. Again, each overtime session will consist of 10 minutes. After the first overtime is completed, it will be sudden death soccer. If 4 overtimes doesn't settle it, we do go to penalty kicks. And for the penalty kicks, 5 possible chances for each team, and if 5 kickers still can't decide it, it'll be sudden death after that until we find a winner. The last overtime game for the state championship in Class 1A, Mantino beat Marquette High School in penalty kicks, but the last time an actual overtime game in 2004 in Class A, Wheaton Academy, who was the 4th place team this season, beat Boylan out of Rockford 2-1 in 4 overtimes. In 2003 in AA, New Trier beat Lake Zurich 2-1 in 2 overtimes. And then Triad, all too familiar with that 2003 loss, a 1-0 decision.
Trophies and medallions will be awarded
in overtime. Mike Villa, the head coach in that contest. And so immediately after this, just a reminder, immediately following the broadcast, we'll have the awards presentation for the champion and the runner-up.
Overtime, we will immediately go into penalty kicks.
And as we get set here for the first overtime, both coaches talking to their teams. Triad with their senior laden group, 8 seniors on that squad with 6 juniors.
Here we go with our first overtime.
And Marian 7 seniors on their team, 8 juniors and 4 sophomores. Triad with a little bit larger roster with 8 sophomores and 5 freshmen listed. And both teams take their sides in their cardinal tops, cardinal shorts, and cardinal socks. It's going to be Triad going from left to right, and in their Columbia blue uniforms, going from right to left, will be the Hurricanes of Marian Central. Triad trying to capitalize. They don't want to drive that 260-mile journey back down to Southern Illinois without a championship. Trying to capitalize here in Woodstock. Likewise, trying to capture that first state championship here in girls soccer. And as we get set here for the first touch in OT, and it's going to go to the Hurricanes. Let's see what their plan of attack is. And they go right back, and they get it to Susan Thomas. Susan Thomas dumps it in deep, and a streaking Laura Lefevre tries to play the ball. She runs into the back of, it'll appear to be Heather Sager. We'll double check that for sure. But back comes Susan Thomas. Nice centering pass there for Lefevre, but a little bit out of reach, and that's cleared by the Lady Knights. And here comes Bodorf. Bodorf trying to play it backwards, but coming in is Tejada. Tejada trying to make a play on that ball, but it gets away from her just a little bit. And we'll see which star players for each team can capitalize here. A shot on that shot on goal goes a little wide, doesn't connect, stays in bounds. Now here comes the Lady Knights. Here comes Heather Sager. Heather Sager tries to center that pass. Nobody home that time, and it's going to be cleared. And they wanted a handball call, but that bounced up, and a possible chance there. The fans for Triad wanted it, but they're not going to get the call for the hand. And that ball's going to bounce out of bounds on the far side. Well, nope, kept in bounds. And back up toward midfield. Lefevre the closest one to play it, but instead it's going to be dumped back in by Brianna Schmidt. Schmidt can't do anything with it. Trying to make a ball was Hart, and that ball's just going to skip harmlessly to the goalkeep. And Caitlin Logan doing a nice job getting it back out to center. Trying to make a play that time was Pierce Bailey, but Bailey can't connect, and it goes back in the zone looking for Tejada. But Bordoff was right there against Tejada, trying to match speed for speed. And here comes Tejada one more time. Gets past Megan Graff, and that's going to be headed back out. Nice job by Bodorf one more time, not allowing that Tejada shot to get on net. And one player going down hard on that far side gets up a little bit slowly. And Megan Graff not able to fully connect on that header opportunity, and it's going to go back, and trying to steal that ball is Caitlin Jonas. Jonas centers it. She's got Madeline Van Pelt. Madeline Van Pelt all alone, surrounded by 3 blue jerseys, and that ball kicked out of bounds, and hitting the deck that time was Susan Thomas. Susan Thomas, the lone goal scorer for Marian Central. Rachel Tejada scored the goal for the Lady Knights in the first. And now trying to get a nice lead pass for Lefevre, but Lefevre a little bit too far behind, can't catch up, and it's going to be cleared. And back over to Privis. Privis centers it back. She's got Tursky. Tursky to her right. And Pigat all by herself. Gets it back over to Thomas, and Thomas has Wilde coming right from behind, and now Marian Central trying to get set up. Back to Thomas. Thomas run into by Kobayashi a little bit. Thomas just dumps it in. That's going to roll out of bounds, setting up a goal kick here.
For Triad, number 9.
And Mursky going to take it one more time. And Sipoli here coming back in.
Game.
And Mursky with a nice kick behind that one, but is kept inside. And that's going to roll down to Mursky. Here's Privis. Privis with an opportunity to end it. Privis tries to get in, and what a save there. Cassidy Nudd coming in, and Katie Privis knows it. Hands on top of her head.
Save by senior Cassidy Nudd.
And a fantastic chance there. And another opportunity that's going to be kicked back out. Privis with a chance for the go-ahead goal with a little over 5 minutes here in the first overtime session. And going to set up a free kick here for the Lady Knights. It's going to be Brianna Schmidt. And now weather's starting to creep in. It looks like overcast clouds coming in. The sun's retreated a little bit, maybe giving a little more forgiving for the players down on the field. Now here come the Hurricane back up. Privis by her lonesome on the side, but that's going to roll out of bounds. Lefevre can't catch up to that. It's going to go back to the Lady Knights. And bounding the ball is Caitlin Jonas. Jonas looking for Sager. Sager surrounded there. Lefevre trying to pressure as much as she can, and the nice steal there. Good play by Robin Wenzel coming in, but unable to keep control of that ball, and back comes the Hurricane in the collision there by Bodorf. And Privis tries to center that ball for, and here's another opportunity here for Marian Central. Privis bringing it in. Privis trying to get a shot, trying to cross that, but it's not going to have enough on it, and it's going to be another save by Cassidy Nudd. Not much of a save. She just has to come out and play that ball a little bit. Nudd brings it back to center, but it's going to be kept in by Susan Thomas. Susan Thomas trying to locate Lefevre, and it's just going to bounce right back to Cassidy Nudd. And Nudd one more time, back up to midfield. And that ball played by Pigot. Pigot can't get enough on it. Bodorf that time gets it up, but it's going to be kicked in by Alyssa Patterson. Patterson can't do anything with it. Back over to Schmidt in midfield, and Schmidt tripped up from behind. No whistle called. And trying to come in on the far side for the Hurricanes is Pierce Bailey, but not going to get there fast enough as Cassidy Nudd going to come out and play that ball. Nudd back up the center. Inside 4 minutes here in the first overtime period, still tied at 1. Tejada with the header there, trying to get Patterson open. Patterson trying to break away, but Megan Graff is there. Now Tejada deflects that ball back into the clutches of Bodorf. Bodorf over to Megan Hart. Megan Hart gets it back over to Susan Thomas. Susan Thomas back to Hart. Hart gets it over to Privis. Privis with that golden opportunity to put a goal in the back of the net now. Thomas back up to Privis. Privis trying to keep it in. Both players slide, Privis and Caitlin Jonas. And it's going to say out of bounds on Privis, and Jonas going to throw in the ball here. Both teams still looking for that go-ahead goal. Tied at 1 with 3 minutes and change on the clock. And a couple substitutions exiting the game right now was Caitlin Jonas and also Rachel Sager.
Number 23,
coming into the game was Claire Stark and also Melanie King. And now the ball changes hands one more time. Megan Hart on the inbound. She's got Thomas right in front of her. Thomas tries to chip it in.
For the Hurricanes, number 8.
And over on the far side, Rebecca Tursky. Tursky making one move. Rather, Samantha Koffler. Here's Pigot. Pigot trying to dump it in. She's got Robin Wenzel. Robin Wenzel tries to center that ball. Wenzel sees that ball go out of bounds. Out of bounds off the far side post, setting up a Danielle Amersky goal kick. And dark clouds starting to creep over Naperville Central High School. And here's a breakaway. Here's Patterson. Patterson taking it down the sideline. Patterson with the centering pass, trying to get to Tejada. Tejada, that's going to be broken up. Nice play defensively by Rebecca Tursky, and it's going to be out of bounds. A throw in here for the Lady Knights. Inside 2 minutes to play now. And here for the throw in, it's going to be Claire Stark. Claire Stark with 6 attackers in or near the box. And that's going to be broken up rather easily there by Megan Graff. And Lefevre tries to make a play in the ball, and some physical play there between Lefevre and Danielle Schmidt. And for holding the jersey, it's going to be a free kick here for the Hurricanes. It's going to be Danielle Thomas, or Susan Thomas, giving way to Tess Bordorf. Tess Bordorf with a nice kick right up the middle, but it's going to be headed by Triad. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw in here. Katie Privis hurrying up. A minute left to play here. Thomas kicks it in. Thomas going in looking for Robin Wenzel. Robin Wenzel plays it herself. And here comes the Hurricane and some jostling right in front of the net. A couple headers there and trying to get the ball in here late in overtime. And that's going to be back out of the zone on top of the box. Here's Thomas. Thomas going to try to chip one in, and Thomas is not going to get enough on this. It's going to be corralled by Cassidy Nudd, but a nice opportunity in front of the net for the Hurricanes, bringing the attack on with under 30 seconds to go here in the first overtime. If we go to 2 overtimes, it will be sudden death, so the next goal will win the game, or we will go to penalty kicks. Now over on the far side is Sullivan. Sullivan trying to go back. Sullivan just chips it back and looking for Tejada. Tejada on a breakaway, coming out to play the ball. And a dangerous play there, and a potentially season-saving, a championship-saving play.
And that's the end of the first overtime.
Credit that to Megan Graff. And down on the ground is Caitlin Logan. Logan with a dangerous play, coming out to play the ball with a streaking Rachel Tejada, the 40-goal scorer. And Caitlin Logan down on the ground, unclear as where she might have got hit. Some contact there when Rachel Tejada came in for the play. And she appears to be okay as the team switch sides now. Coaches and trainers come onto the field, but it appears that Logan's going to be just fine. Holding her head, maybe she took a shot on the way back down to the ground. And as we enter overtime period number 2, it is going to be sudden death, so the next goal will crown your 2A champion.
And here we go.
And a possible 30 more minutes of overtime soccer here to decide the 2A crown. And Triad with the first touch. It's going to be Tejada. Tejada's going to chip it back, and Kobayashi plays it over to her right. And coming down the sideline, here comes Triad. Triad looking for an offensive attack. Triad in the red jerseys now going from right to left. Gets it over to her left, and she passes it over to Kendall Keller. Keller trying to find somebody open. Keller goes back over to Madeline Van Pelt, or rather Kobayashi. Kobayashi passes back, and they try to chip it into the offensive zone. Sipley trying to make a play on it, but unable to do so. And trying to bring it out here, Susan Pigot. Pigot tries to get it over to Lefevre. They're going to say it's going to stay in possession of the Lady Knights. Here's Kendall Keller one more time for the throw-in. See where she goes. She's got Brianna Schmidt to her right, to her left.
Number 11.
She has Sipley.
Madeline Van Pelt returns to the game.
And Madeline Van Pelt will come in here. She'll spell Kobayashi. And unable to get the header to fall was Aaron Sullivan.
A free kick coming up for
and a free kick here
Knights.
On the whistle. It's going to be Brianna Schmidt. I'll say from roughly 40 yards, 35, 40 yards or so, Brianna Schmidt with the free kick. Much like a corner kick, the attackers coming in. 6 attackers in the box. And here's a nice setup here from Logan. And a fantastic opportunity there, but turned away. Caitlin Logan in the right place. None of the Lady Knight attackers inside the box were able to make good contact with that ball, and it was able to safely fall into the hands of Caitlin Logan as that ball is played back up to midfield. Lefevre trying to do something with it, unable to do so. And a whistle's going to be called, and there's going to be a free kick here for the Lady Knights one more time. Not nearly as dangerous a spot as the last one, but a free kick nonetheless.
Administrators of both teams, please make your way down to the red track, please. Administrators of both schools, please make your way down to the red track. Thank you.
And the free kick here taken by Mertzke inside the zone, and here come the Lady Knights and Aaron Sullivan with an opportunity, and that's off the top crossbar and down, and a bullet dodged by Marian Central. A laser of a shot off the top crossbar and down, and that goal somehow does not go in the back of the net, and we play on. A fortuitous bounce that time for the Hurricanes. And here comes Tejada. Tejada trying to make a play in the ball, but she's broken up by Megan Graff, and Graff just safely kicks that ball out of bounds, with Tejada breathing right down her neck. And for the throw-in is Kendall Keller. Keller looking for Sullivan. Sullivan not able to get the head on that ball. Try to play it out. It's going to be Samantha Koffler. Koffler sees that go back out of bounds, and Keller coming back for the throw-in. And there's going to be a substitution in here. Koffler looks like she's going to be spelled. A little bit of an unusual situation there. Sager taking the throw-in instead of Keller. Keller plays the ball back on the far side. That's going to be chipped back out. And back come the Lady Knights. Here's Tejada, tries to redirect that ball. And a sliding save there, but Bodorf almost took a shot from Aaron Sullivan. And as that ball is played back to center. And Keller can't do anything with it. Here comes Brianna Schmidt. Brianna Schmidt gets it back in. Gets it to Sullivan, but Sullivan promptly turns it back over to Rebecca Tursky. Tursky's going to go back over to, looks like that's Megan Hart up on the far side.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will
have a stoppage in play right now. A lightning strike in the area, so that does mean that we're going to have to take a break here for the two-way final. With 5:46 remaining
there will be a 30-minute
in the second overtime.
Lightning delay.
We'll be taking a 30-minute break here in the two-way championship game due to weather. So we're going to be taking a break here on the IHSA TV network. Still tied at 1 between Marian Central and Triad for the two-way state championship. As the clock kicks down from 30 minutes, we'll bring it right back here from Naperville Central High School in Naperville, Illinois, for the conclusion of the 2011 IHSA Class 2A State Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And welcome back to Naperville Central High School here in Naperville, Illinois. After a lengthy lightning and rain delay of roughly an hour and 20 minutes, we're just about set to get back underway here and finish the two-way state championship game. We're still deadlocked in a 1-1 tie. Let's recap the scoring if you're just joining us. The first goal coming at the 34-38 mark in the first half. That goal coming off the assist of Brianna Schmidt. And Schmidt getting that over to Rachel Tejada. Tejada wearing the number deuce and put it in to make it 1-0 Triad, her 40th goal of the season. And then the second goal of the game, the tying goal, didn't come until the second half. That came at the 61-42 mark to even this contest up. And that goal was an unassisted by Susan Thomas. And as we're getting set underway, we're still in overtime period number 2. We're just in where we got 5:46 left on the clock before we hit overtime number 3. Marian Central, the Hurricanes, going from left to right in their Columbia blue uniforms, blue shirts, blue shorts, and blue socks. And in the Cardinal red top, shorts, and socks, going from right to left, are the Triad Lady Knights. And we're back underway here. We get off with the free kick, and that's going to come off the foot of Tess Bodorf. And Bodorf sends it in. With the rain coming through, lowered the temperature about 15 degrees and took out all the humidity. It's actually extremely pleasant outside. A little bit stiffer wind right now. Clouds still a little bit overcast, and the sun's trying to peek through right now as we get set back underway. And out on the far side, trying to chase that down is Megan Hart. And Megan Graff trying to come from the other end. A little contact there between Samantha Koffler, or rather Robin Wenzel. And the Lady Knights kind of trying to come back with a counter of their own, and wide open here is Knapp and Natalie Sapoli. If that pass would have been a little bit closer, it would have been an odd man breakaway, but Sapoli was held in check that time. And streaking down the far side right now, here comes Rachel Sager. Sager tries to center that ball, but that's going to go out of bounds, and we're going to get a corner kick attempt here.
We have a corner kick coming up.
We'll see who takes the corner kick, and it's going to be Brianna Schmidt coming down.
Brianna Schmidt to take the kick.
And it's going to be
for the Lady Knights.
A gamble here. Let's see what happens. 4 defenders right in front of the net. We'll see if Caitlin Logan's up to the task. Here's Schmidt. Schmidt puts it up for the header attempt just over top of Rachel Tejada. Tejada unable to make contact with that one, and it's going to go outside the box. Back over to Madeline Van Pelt. Van Pelt tries to get in, and the header attempt that time by Aaron Sullivan goes a little bit wide of the net, doesn't actually get on net. And a shallow kick here toward midfield from Caitlin Logan. And the field going to be a little bit more slick right now than it was earlier in the game with the rain coming down. And Holly Abel with the toss in. Abel, who went down in the second half of the contest for a little bit with an injury. Able to get back in the game and a possible one-on-one break. And here's the speedster Lefevre. Lefevre trying to come in. Lefevre trying to get it. And that ball stopped by a diving Cassidy Nudd. The ball got away from a little bit, just careened a little bit behind her. But a nice defensive play that looked like that was Danielle Merksey coming in to clear the ball. The rebound got a little bit away from Cassidy Nudd. But again, Cassidy Nudd with a nice sliding stop there. And another offensive chance thwarted for the Hurricanes. If you looked at the rain earlier, you thought it might have been a hurricane coming in here. Strong rains and lightning that delayed the contest, as that ball is going to go out of bounds and set up a goal kick.
We have a goal kick coming up.
And once again, it's going to be Danielle Merksey handling the goal kicking duties. She's been doing that all afternoon here for the Lady Knights. Gets it up near midfield off of the head of Tejada, and that's just going to go helplessly inside the defensive zone for the Hurricanes. It's going to go out of bounds off of what it looked like Katie Privis over there on the far end toward midfield. And Triad get the ball inbound, and Schmidt near midfield takes it back a little bit over to Merksey. Merksey kicks it back up. She's looking for Sullivan, who tries to get the header in. Sullivan gets it back. Alyssa Patterson now. Patterson of it, trying to center, and here comes Tejada, and that's a sliding stop there, and it's got to be a corner kick here for the Lady Knights. Another strong opportunity to maybe get a goal, but that one again thwarted. A nice sliding stop there.
This time,
and Brianna Schmidt one more time coming in for the corner kick. 6 attackers in the box, 7 with Abel up around the top corner. And here comes the kick, and that one headed backwards and played once, and the rebound coming loose, and a nice grab there by Caitlin Logan. Tense moments here for the faithful of Marian Central. She came up and played the ball after a couple stutter steps, was finally able to get control of that ball, and now we got a breakaway on the other end. Trying to bring it in off of the foot of Pierce Bailey. That ricochets off of one of the attackers. And that's going to set up a corner kick of their own. Here's Laura Lefevre. Lefevre getting set up, and the Hurricane, we're trying to notch win number 20 on the season. Here's Lefevre's kick. It's up, and just a little bit too far out. Too high for any of the Hurricane players to make a play on that one, and it's going to go back out to midfield. And Botdorf out to midfield, not contested by anybody, and she's just going to kick that one in. She's looking for Robin Wenzel. And now a breakaway, and Lefevre tried to make a play on that one, but just a little bit too fast for it, as the ball's going to bounce back into Hurricane territory. To stop that, and it's going to go off of the legs of Natalie Sipley, and the Hurricanes get it right back in. There's Bailey trying to chip it in. She's looking for Lefevre. Lefevre guarded tightly there by Danielle Merksey, and that's ball going to be back out of bounds. Pierce Bailey not going to take it. It looked like she was at first, but here's Susan Piggott, and that's going to do it for the second overtime. We're going to switch sides and do it again. Overtime period number 3. 10 more minutes possibly.
Go into the third overtime. 10 minutes.
We're halfway through the overtime sessions. We're in number 3 of a possible 4 10-minute overtime sessions. The next goal will win the state championship for either Triad or Marian Central. Triad, their second trip here in this state title game. In 2003, we mentioned earlier, a 1-0 defeat at the hands of St. Viator. That also coming in overtime. That one only a single overtime game. And then this is, for Marian Central, the first ever state championship appearance under head coach Christian Rockall. And both teams regrouping there on their collective sideline.
Here's a little bit of information for our fans from Triad and Marian Central Catholic.
And both teams getting set.
Of this game
and with the 2 overtimes so far, the better chances have come for Triad.
Exit by the ticket booth and go up the patio.
And just a quick reminder, as soon as the conclusion of this game is done, keep it right here on the IHSA TV network on IHSA.org for the awards presentation for the champion and runners-up.
We're going to ask your cooperation in moving as quickly as possible as we have another series.
And so with a possible 20 minutes left to go here
right away
in overtime, we got to see which team is going to break first. A bevy of opportunities for the Lady Knights of Triad. Rachel Tejada with a couple early looks before the lightning delay. And you got to wonder with the cooler temperatures and a little bit stronger wind if that's going to benefit either one of the teams. Now with the temperatures going down, less substituting here. Both coaches going to leave their star players in. And we switch sides one more time. Going from left to right is going to be Triad in the red uniforms and the blue. For Marian Central going right to left. 10 more minutes back on the clock and we get set here. Both goalies getting ready.
And we're getting set to start.
And another 10 minutes to try to settle the 2A state title game. And coming in fast is Aaron Sullivan. Sullivan broken up a little bit by Pierce Bailey. And back come the Lady Knights. Tejada dumps it in. She's looking in the corner for Sipley. Sipley trying to bring it in, and that's going to go off the foot, setting up a goal kick here for the Hurricanes. Bodorf going to take that one for the Hurricanes. Strong leg.
Getting set to take the corner kick once again.
And they're resetting it there. It's actually going to be called a corner kick. And Brianna Schmidt coming back over on the far corner. 6 attackers in the box again for the Lady Knights. Last 2 have been nice looks for Schmidt. She gets another one up. Another look. Here's Tejada, not able to connect, and it's going to be off of one of the heads of Marian Central's defenders. And a nice block there and a possible breakaway. And Privis tried to get a nice lead pass going, but unable to get much behind it. Laura Lefevre tried running it down, but was unable to catch up with that one as it goes out. And throwing it back in is Caitlin Jones. Jones unable to find anybody. That's going to go back to the Hurricane. And Lefevre, nice little centering pass. Got that over to Robin Wenzel, but Robin Wenzel sends that ball a little bit too far in front, possibly looking for a pass to Pierce Bailey. Now back on the other end, here's Sipley trying to bring it down the side. She's got Sullivan open, and that ball's going to straddle the end line. And going down on the far side, making good contact. That's going to set up another corner kick. That was Tejada streaking in, and Megan Graff on the defense. And Brianna Schmidt getting set for another corner kick. 8 minutes to go in overtime period, number 3. And here comes Schmidt, getting set one more time. Another corner kick for the Lady Knights. Schmidt gets it up. And that's going to be off of the head of Bodorf. Bodorf brings it back out. Aaron Sullivan, the closest Lady Knight attacker there, wasn't able to get anything on that one. And for the throw-in on the far side, Sullivan touches it first. He gets it back to Sipley. Sipley can't make a play on it. And Abel gets it back over to Sullivan, trying to get that ball centered. And Sager's kick goes back out to midfield. Sullivan trying to make a play, and instead it's going to be Pigot. Pigat back over to center. Now here come the Hurricanes. Hurricanes starting to come up. Robin Wenzel unable to catch up to the defender that time, and the Lady Knights try to get it back out, but Susan Thomas is able to regain control for the Hurricanes, and sending it back in is Susan Pigat. Pigat down the side looking for anybody open. Not a lot of open space there for the Hurricanes. A lot of red jerseys along the sideline. Goes out of bounds and back in possession of the Triad Lady Knights. We'll try it again here right at midfield on the
Triad, number
top
14,
of the field.
Alyssa Wilde, and number 20.
And Alyssa Wilde checking into the contest.
Are back in the game.
Taking out Madeline Van Pelt. And for the throw in for the Lady Knights, nice toss looking for Tejada. Tejada missed the header a little bit, and that's going to go closer out to center. And here comes Megan Hart. Megan Hart going to try to get it back up. She's looking for Privis, but that ball is going to go out of bounds. Privis just watches it sail out. That'll set up Caitlin Jones. Caitlin Jones for the toss in, looks for Tejada, but Tejada closely guarded there by Megan Graff, who just heads it out. Going to set up another toss in. This time it's going to be courtesy of Meredith Wendt. And Wendt looking to get inside the box, and she does. Got 3 attackers there for the Lady Knights. And attack right in front, and that's going to be kicked away. A nice job there by Burdoff. Burdoff doing a nice job defensively, almost in a sweeper position right there, just getting that ball right back out of the zone. And is kicked back up to midfield, but is kept in there by Schmidt. Schmidt's trying to play it and trying to make the header of Susan Thomas, and Thomas is going to get the whistle. It's going to be a free kick here for the Hurricanes. Taking the kick for the Hurricanes is going to be Tess Bodorf. Bodorf with Megan Hart to her left, Megan Graff to her right, and plenty of attackers in front of her, and she goes deep inside the zone looking for Lefevre, but that's going to be batted out by Allison Patterson. And here comes Tejada. Tejada with 2 defenders to beat. She's trying to get around Bodorf. She might have a step on Bodorf. Tejada not able to get a shot away, but if she tries to center, she's got Alyssa Wilde right in front of her, and a shot on net that time, but it's going to be taken in easily by Caitlin Logan in perfect position. And Sipley shot on net. A nice effort. And inside 5 minutes to play in overtime, number 3. Again, score still knotted up at 1 apiece. Next goal will crown the 2A champion. And Tejada trying to do something on her own right in the middle of the field. She gets that, it's going to squirt out towards Meredith Wendt. And now the Hurricanes trying to get something. It's a 4-on-1 advantage for Triad, and Lefevre watches that go out of bounds. Lefevre going to inbound this ball, not wasting any time, gets it back over to Pierce Bailey. Bailey loses control, and it goes back to the Lady Knights. Lady Knights doing a much better job here in the overtime, keeping possession of the ball and dominating the midfield play right now. But back come the Hurricanes, still not going to give up. Inside 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes here to play in overtime number 3 out of 4 possible overtimes before we get to penalty kicks. And it's going to go out of bounds, and Megan Hart going to take it for the Hurricanes. Hart gets it inbound. She's got Thomas. Thomas battling with 2 defenders there, and that's going to pop loose. It's going to go out to Tursky. Tursky can't hold on to it. Now here comes Wilde. Wilde tries to center it to Tejada, but it's going to be kicked out of the zone there by, it appeared to be Megan Graff. Now back come the Hurricanes. 4 attackers. It's 4-on-4. Trying to play something with the ball, and that's going to be kicked away. Nice job there. Robin Wenzel turned away, but now she tries to dump it in. She's got Privis. Privis trying to chase it down, unable to do so in the far corner, but it's going to go out of bounds off of Caitlin Jones. And it's going to be a throw in here for the Hurricanes. And substitutions around here for both teams coming in for the Hurricanes. And Samantha Koffler wearing number 8 for the throw-in. And trying to do something with the ball was Wenzel, but Wenzel turned away by the Red Knights, by the Lady Knights.
Amy Rackenberg is back in the game.
And now Tejada. Tejada by herself, got 3 attackers to beat, 3 defenders to beat in front of her. Let's see if Tejada can try to get a shot on. She passes it back. Passes back to Meredith Wendt. Wendt goes back again, and that pass off the mark. She was looking for Allison Patterson. And it's going back to Marian Central. Marian Central trying to do something with it. Off the foot of Schmidt, and that's just going to roll out of bounds. Going to be a throw in here. It's going to be Samantha Koffler taking it for the Hurricanes. Koffler goes over top, and she missed Lefevre a little bit. Hurricanes are going to retain possession still, though. Hart taking the ball right up the sideline. She's going to be cut off there by Patterson. And Tejada one more time, a little bit of physical play. Patterson trying to get up to Tejada, but that pass sails a little bit too far into the hands of Bodorf. Bodorf with a nice pass up, trying to stretch the D to Koffler. And we got a whistle here. And it's going to be a free kick.
1 minute.
Or it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Lady Knights with under a minute to play here in overtime session number 3. Nice pass in there. And the header opportunity by Tejada, not going to go in. Not enough on it. Another stop there by Caitlin Logan. Coming out and just corralling that ball. Logan gets it out to midfield. 30 seconds to play here in overtime session number 3. We have 10 minutes to play after this. And that's going to be a whistle here in favor of the Lady Knights. A free kick coming up. Megan Graff just pummeling Rachel Tejada. Tejada, the 40-goal scorer here. She's got the only goal for the Lady Knights in this contest. Here's the free kick. Schmidt. Let's see if she tries to go over top the D like she did it earlier today. And she chooses not to this time. Instead, it's going to be Patterson. Patterson trying to find somebody in front. And 2 players go down, and that's going to do it for overtime number 3. And we have 10 more minutes to settle the 2A state championship.
We will go into our final 10-minute overtime.
Both teams are going to switch sides one more time.
Teams will just switch sides.
And if we can't decide a winner within the next 10 minutes, it is going to go to penalty kicks.
Golden goal time. First goal will win.
And again, both teams switching sides. Going from left to right in the blue is going to be Marian Central. From right to left will be the girls from Triad, the Lady Knights. Got to imagine the pressure that both goaltenders are feeling. The next goal that goes in will be the state championship winner.
Claire starts.
And so we get set here for overtime session number 4. And before we get going, a substitution here. Leaving the game for the Lady Knights is going to be Rachel Bassett. And as they play it into the offensive zone, here comes Lefevre. Lefevre trying to win the foot race down the side. She's not going to be able to do it. It's going to go off of the foot of Lefevre. It could have been Abby Abel that it went off of, but they're going to say it went off of Lefevre, and Abel here for the inbound pass. Abel got it to Kobayashi. Kobayashi heads it a couple times. And a tough play there. It looks like Alyssa Patterson caught the back of somebody's head holding her mouth. And back come the Hurricanes, trying to get something set up offensively. But turned away that time was Harmony Kenzora. And Thomas trying to get something set up. She's looking for Wenzel down the right side, but nobody home. Abel takes it away, back out to Patterson. Patterson's going to try to get that out to Meredith Wendt, but that's going to sail out of bounds. And in for the throw-in is going to be Piggott. Piggott throws it back in. She's got Wenzel. Wenzel going to go, trying to find someone near the wing. She's got Lefevre. Lefevre outside the box. She's got Schmidt right behind her. Schmidt breathing down her neck. What can Wenzel do with it? Wenzel with one step, 2 defenders right in front of her, and Wenzel hits the deck hard, and back come the Lady Knights. But that's going to cream actually off the ref and sent back in. Piggott sends it back in for the Hurricanes. That's going to go out of bounds, and Piggott's going to take it for the throw-in. And to her left, she goes right to Thomas. Thomas, the goal scorer for Marian Central earlier today from about And here comes Thomas. Thomas with one move. Thomas may be trying to find somebody open. Thomas goes up top, and there's Wenzel. And they try to get the shot off, and it's going to go off of one of the defenders. They wanted maybe a handball. It's not going to happen. That ball deflected off of either Kobayashi or that could have been Schmidt. And back for the throw-in. And here come the attacking Lady Knights. That's going to be kicked away there by Bodorf. Bodorf sends it back out to midfield. But Kobayashi going to play that back out to Patterson. Patterson trying to find somebody open, trying to find a little bit of space in between this Hurricane defense, trying to get Tejada. Tejada with the breakaway, and that's not going to be enough. It's going to roll into the hands of Caitlin Logan. A scary moment there if you're a Hurricane fan. And a good job defensively. That was Megan Graff again. Megan Graff has done a fantastic job today guarding Tejada. And a whistle there blown is going to go in favor of the Hurricanes. Lady Knight faithful aren't too pleased with that call, as Meredith went and Harmony Kenzora went up and contested that ball, and it's going to be a free kick here, and it's going to be Bodorf taking one more time. Tess Bodorf near midfield, tries to get it right in the middle, and that's going to go off the head of, that looked like Meredith went. And here come the Hurricane one more time off of Lefevre. Lefevre taking the ball again right here, about 35 yards out or so. Passes it back, gets it over to Thomas. Thomas looking back, and Thomas tries to find somebody inside the box. Kenzora not home, and that's just going to roll out of bounds for a goal kick.
A goal kick coming up here.
6.5 minutes left here in overtime, session number 4. Two-way title on the line still. Next goal is going to win it. Penalty kicks follow this overtime if we can't settle the contest here within the next 6 minutes and change. And Merksey gets it back out to midfield. Abel unable to make a play on the ball that time. It's going to be battled by several different players there, and it's going to go back into the offensive zone looking for Tejada, but Tejada swarmed by 3 defenders. And that ball's going to roll all the way to the far side. And Kobayashi running into Wenzel right there. Wenzel playing the ball, doing a nice job, and a nice individual effort right there. And back come the Hurricane. Hurricane trying to find something on top, and that's going to be broken up there by Patterson. Nice job defensively by Alyssa Patterson. And going down, and it's going to set up a free kick here for the Hurricane.
We have a free kick coming up for the Hurricane.
And the big leg of Tess Bodorf coming in for the free kick. That was set up by the nice individual play there by Susan Thomas. And here comes the free kick. She chips it in. And see if we can get ahead, and a hard collision there, going down hard was Meredith Wench. She gets right back up. Looks like she took the brunt of that hit right to the face, but she gets up, keeps on trucking. Get a nice round of applause here for the hometown crowd, and Went's going to take the throw in. And now Meredith Went's going to be taking a seat here. She gets subbed in for, and coming into the game is going to be Bailey Boss, wearing number 6. And on the throw in, Abel gets it in. It's going to be headed in by Heather Sager. Sager can't find anybody open. It's going to be back to the Hurricanes. Schmidt clears the zone. And that's going to be kicked in by Graff. Graff can't find anybody open, though. Back to Patterson. Patterson trying to find Sager. Sager can't catch up to that one as Bodorf gets it out of the zone, and back come the Hurricane. The Hurricane looking for a streak on Lefevre. Lefevre down the sideline. She's just going to bypass the ball as it gets just by her. And now Kobayashi brings it up. Wenzel trying to chase it down, but unable to do so. Bailey Boss here trying to find somebody open. Is going to take it back to Schmidt. Schmidt crosses midfield, looking for Sipley. Sipley not hoping. And now Thomas again, trying to find someone open. Maybe Kenzora running down the side. But it goes back to the Lady Knights, and it's going to be kicked off the foot of Lefevre, who ran down Bailey Boss. Now Boss with the throw-in gets it over to Patterson. At Kareem's Back over, now in the center. Here comes Tejada. Tejada tripped up from behind, and no whistle called. Thought that might have been a trip from behind, but Tejada fighting back. And now we have an open shot. Here's Patterson. Patterson stops and goes back up. Maybe one step too many. Patterson maybe had a shot with the left foot to put one on net, but can't pull the trigger. And now it's going to set up a goal kick here for the Hurricane. And Tess Bodorf here one more time. Under 3 minutes. And Bodorf sends that off the head of Patterson. Patterson gets over to the general area of Tejada. Tejada can't do anything. Sipley trying to chase it down, and Megan Graff makes contact with Sipley, and that ball is going to roll toward the side, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay in possession of the Lady Knights, and on the far side it's going to be Sipley. Sipley going to defer to one of her Lady Knight teammates, and here comes the throw-in. Nice toss back there, and it's going to go off the head of Megan Hart, and it's going to be carried back out by the Hurricanes. Hurricanes with 3 attackers. Got to watch out for the offsides. Not quite yet, but they got Lefevre inside. And Lefevre with a nice pass. Here comes Kenzora. Kenzora is going to draw, or going to cause a free kick here as she made contact with Abel, and Abel hits the deck. Another free kick here for the Lady Knights. Just going to turn away the Hurricanes one more time. Under 2 minutes to play here in the 4th overtime. We're looking at penalty kicks if neither team can put one in the back of the net. And Tejada goes back to Sipley. Sipley trying to go back, trying to find Sager. Sager up front, and Sager hitting the deck. No whistle blown. And Burdoff looking for Wenzel. She's got Wenzel, but quickly corralled by 2 defenders and back over to Lefevre. Lefevre needing to pull the trigger soon if she's going to get a shot off. Lefevre trying to get it off the right foot, and that's just going to go a little bit wide to the near side post and out of bounds, setting up a goal kick. And time called on the field. A yellow card going to be issued.
The yellow card is,
and that's going to be to Holly Abel.
Number 17, Holly Abel.
And that time it's going to be somewhere around 1:18:52. And as we get set here for the goal kick here.
For Triad number 4, Kaylin Jonas.
And Jonas now checks in here for Abel.
To replace Abel.
And Merksey getting set for the goal kick, waiting on the word from the refs. They get the okay. And Merksey putting it back in play, getting it not quite to midfield, getting it almost there, and it's headed there by Patterson. Patterson gets it back. Tejada whiffs on the head attempt there.
1 minute.
Minute here to play in the 4th overtime. We're getting set for penalty kicks if no one can score. But here come the Hurricane. Hurricane streaking up. Here's Wenzel. Wenzel sends one on net, and it's just wide of the net. A nice shot there by Wenzel. Just taking it herself with under a minute to go. That one almost squeaked in top shelf. And we play on. 20 seconds and change. And that's going to go out of bounds off of Kenzora. Going to stay in possession of the Lady Knights, and the pace is picked up. They know time's running out, and that's going to go down to Tejada, but it's going to be taken by Bodorf. Bodorf kicks it around. Both teams trying to play it. And taken down on the ground. A whistle here. It's going to be a free kick for the Lady Knights. 2 seconds left. They're not going to get the
and there you have it.
Kickoff, and that's going to do it. 4 overtimes. And we still have yet to crown the 2011 Class 2A champion. We are going to penalty kicks. Each team's going to get 5 attackers. Going to be picked by the head coach. And it's not like hockey. They don't get a running start. The ball is going to be placed at the line. And they're going to get 1 touch. Going to get 1 shot to get it on goal. And as we get set here for
at this time, teams will now choose
the penalty kicks, we're going to
players
take a short break, and we're going to come back here on the IHSA TV network, right here on IHSA.org, and come back for the penalty kicks, and we are going to find out who is going to be crowned the 2011 IHSA Class 2A state champion. So keep it tuned right here.
It will become sudden victory. The first shooter for Triad.
And welcome back to Marian, to Naperville Central High School, and we're getting ready for shootout kicks here to decide the 2A state champion. In net first will be Caitlin Logan, and she's going to be squaring off. And that one's going to go on the net, and that's Rachel Tejada. No surprise, Tejada, the 40-goal scorer on the season. Tejada.
Goal for Triad.
And Tejada gets the early 1-0 lead here in the shootout. And coming up to kick here for the Hurricanes is going to be, that's going to be Tess Bodorf.
First shooter for Marian.
And Tess Bodorf getting set up here. She's facing Cassidy Nudd. Nudd's been made some acrobatic saves today, and Bodorf is not going to let that one get in. That's going to go off the post on the far side. And so early on, the advantage goes to the Triad Lady Knights. 1-0 after one round of kicks. And here comes Danielle Merksey.
Number 5, Danielle
Merksey coming up here, the second player here for the Lady Knights, trying to get the 2-0 advantage here. And see if Logan will come up and play the ball, if she'll stay home. And Merksey gets that one in off the hands of Logan, and it's 2-0 here.
Triad.
And Triad with a 2-goal lead here in the shootout.
Next up for Marian Central Catholic will be number 4, Pierce Bailey.
A must. Not quite a must win, but this one has to go in by Pierce Bailey for the Hurricanes. Bailey sets up. She's going to get the whistle here. And Bailey gets it in. She goes top shelf into the far corner near the far post.
Hurricanes.
And Pierce Bailey keeps the Hurricanes alive. It's 2-1 after 2 shooters apiece. Coming up here is number 11 for Triad.
Madeline Van Pelt.
Madeline Van Pelt. Getting set here. She's going to be taking on Caitlin Logan. See if Logan's up to the task. Logan 0 for 2. And that one's going to squirt in. She's going to go left side for a diving Caitlin Logan. And it's 3-1 in favor of the Lady Knights.
The goalkeeper will now take
now next up for
Catholic.
It's actually going to be Caitlin Logan wearing 14, the goalkeeper for Marian Central. So goalkeeper on goalkeeper. And Logan sees that one off the post. Goes off the left post. And that one is not going to go in. And it could be over after this. Coming up to the line. Here comes Patterson. Patterson wearing 16. See if Alyssa Patterson can win a state championship.
16, Alyssa Patterson.
Triad's got a runner-up finish once before. And waiting on Caitlin Logan to get her gloves back. Gets situated here. And the tension's high. You can see all the fans here for Triad on their feet. A goal here wins it. Alyssa Patterson gets it in, and that's it. They win it.
And there you have it.
Your 2011 IHSA Class 2A state champion is the Triad Lady Knights.
State champions, the Lady Knights of Triad High School.
Your hero, Alyssa Patterson, gets goal number 4 in the shootout. And it's a 1-0 victory, the first ever state championship for the Triad Lady Knights out of Troy, Illinois. It's going to make that 260-mile journey back down to Southern Illinois much more enjoyable now that they're going to carry that first place hardware. State championship #1 in dejection on the sideline for Marian Central, who finished the season with a record of 19-10. Your state runner-up, and
congratulations to
gets
both
set
teams on an
in center field for the handshakes, one of the best traditions in high school sports. Just a showing of sportsmanship. This game very, very clean all the way through. No dirty plays. A couple yellow cards issued, but a very clean played game on both sides of the ball. And the celebration begins for the Triad Lady Knights. Congratulations to head coach Mike Villa, assistant coach Matt Betlak, and your captains Rachel Tejada, Brianna Schmidt, and Heather Sager. Athletic trainer Jack Edgar. After losing a last year's sectional final to Althoff Catholic,
now if both teams
the Lady Knights come back in 2011 and take their first ever state title back to Troy, Illinois.
Will be presented.
Now we're going to send it down to field level for the PA announce for the trophy presentations for your state champion Triad Lady Knights and the runners-up, the Hurricanes of Marian Central. We'll come back after the awards presentation and wrap it up here from Naperville Central, and then get you set for the 3A games immediately following the awards presentation.
Janine Kaplan, the women's soccer coach from North Central College, and Elise McKenzie, the assistant women's soccer coach at North Central College, and Ms. Beth Sauser of the IHSA, the administrator responsible for girls soccer. At this time, please meet the Hurricanes of Marian Central Catholic, who finished the 2011 season second place with a final record of 19 wins and 10 losses. First, the principal of Marian Central Catholic, Mr. Charles Rakers. Athletic Director, Dr. Michael McGovern. Athletic Trainer, Stevie Widener. Head Coach, Kristen Rockall. Assistant Coach Nellie Brenner. Assistant Coach Leslie Brenner. Assistant Coach Justin Brown. Assistant Coach Doug Shea. And Assistant Coach Kelly Stevens. And now the players. Number 2, Amy Reckenberg. Number 3, Cass Badar. Number 4, Pierce Bailey. Number 5, Rachel Gurin. Number 6, Rebecca Tursky. Number 7, Susan Pigat. Number 8, Samantha Colfer. Number 9, Robin Wenzel. Number 10, Laura Lefevre. Number 11, Katie Anderson. Number 12, Caitlin McKenna. Number 13, Susan Thomas. Number 14, Caitlin Logan. Number 15, Harmony Kenzora. Number 18, Rita Wazetsky. Number 19, Megan Graff. Number 20, Megan Hart. Number 22, Natalie Wells. And number 23, Katie Rivas. At this time, meet the Lady Knights of Triad High School, who finished the 2011 season in first place with a final record of 21 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. First, meet the principal of Triad, Mr. Rodney Winslow. Athletic Director, Jeff Falkenberg. Athletic Trainer, Jack Edgar. Head Coach, Mike Villa. Assistant Coach, Matt Badlock. Manager, Maggie Carlson. Manager, Ashley Persia. Manager, Jessica Shelton. Manager, Taylor Stevenson. Players, number 1, Cassidy Nod. Number 2, Rachel Tahada. Number 3, Aaron Sullivan. Number 4, Kaylin Jonas. Number 6, Danielle Mertzke. Number 6, Bailey Boss. Number 7, Brianna Schmidt. Number 9, Natalie Seipel. Number 10, Serena Hewlett. Number 11, Madeline Van Pelt. Number 12, Kendall Keller. Number 14, Alyssa Wilde. Number 16, Alyssa Patterson. Number 17, Holly Abel. Number 19, Jennifer Lang. Number 20, Meredith Wendt. Number 21, Heather Sager. Number 22, Rachel Bassett. Number 23, Claire Stark. Number 24, Sachi Kobayashi. Number 26, Melanie King. And number 27, Abby Hall. And now will Coach Rockall and captains from Marian please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Congratulations, girls, on a great season. And now will Coach and the Triad captains please step forward to receive their first place trophy as the champions of the Illinois High School Association Girls Class 2A. There you have it, the Lady Knights of Triad High School.
And there you have it, your 2011 IHSA Class 2A state champions, the Lady Knights from Triad, out of Troy, Illinois, down in Madison County. Southern Illinois has got to be proud of their girls soccer program. And that's going to do it here from Naperville Central High School in Naperville, Illinois. It's been a fantastic weekend of 2A soccer. That wraps it up for this season, and we'll be back next year with the state tournament. We'll do it all over again to crown another champion.
your players.
And once again,
out by the
congratulations
ticket booths.
on Triad High School's first ever state championship in Class 2A girls soccer. So for all of us here at Naperville Central High
Once
School,
again, we
for our
thank you
producer
for a
Ryan
great-
Nowak, I'm Mike
great
Carbrick signing
series.
off, and we'll see you next year.